The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is brought to you by Big D's Tack and Vet Supply, Cool Winds Farm, Midland Acres, the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, and thestable.ca. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Hello everyone, this is Austin Scott coming to you live from the Ottawa County Fairgrounds in Oak Harbor, Ohio. Today we have a 12 race card coming your way here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association YouTube network, and we have the Ohio Fair Racing Conference Colts taking center stage on today's 12 race card, as well as the Signature Series Trot. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to learn a little bit more about the Ottawa County Fair and its history, and we'll be right back with a preview of Race 1.
The Ottawa County Fair is the youngest of its kind in the state of Ohio. The official record begins in 1964, but its history dates back much further. The very first fair was held in Port Clinton, almost 160 years ago. The location of the fair caused major conflict between Ottawa County towns. After 2 decades of dispute, Port Clinton and Oak Harbor decided to each hold their own independent fair. With neither seeing much success, no fair would be held in Ottawa County for the entire next century. The Ottawa County Agricultural Society was formed in the early 1960s. The organization spearheaded the reestablishment of a junior fair. It consisted of only 2 tents and a wagon pushed together to make a stage, but it was a hit. The fair grew quickly, and by 1968, the permanent fairgrounds was purchased, a racetrack was built, and harness racing was introduced the same year. The sulkies brought new excitement for spectators. Today, the Ottawa County Fair features 2 days of standardbred racing. They are a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference and include a leg of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Number 6, Spirit Cage. Change the driver to Jason Merriman. Jason Merriman will drive number 6, Spirit Cage. Turn to race 3. Race 3, there will be win, place, show, exacta, quinella, and trifecta wagering. Race 3, number 5, 6B Hanover. Change the driver to Luke Ebersole. Luke Ebersole will drive number 5, 6B Hanover. Turn to race 4. Race 4 will be the first half of a daily double along with race 5, and there'll also be win, place, show, exacta, and quinella wagering in race 4. Race 4, number 3, Hard Rock Echo. Make the driver Indelicio Arriaga. Indelicio Arriaga will drive number 3, Hard Rock Echo. Turn to race 5. Race 5 will be the second half of that daily double along with race 4, and there'll be win, place, show, exacta, quinella, and trifecta wagering. Race 5, number 3, Gerald Jett. Change the driver to Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry will drive number 3, Gerald Jett. Number 4, Shell Ya. Make the driver Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor will drive number 4, Shell Ya. Number 7, Surfin' the Canyon. Change the driver to Don Harmon. Don Harmon will drive number 7, Surfin' the Canyon. Turn to race 6. Race 6. Race 6 will be win, place, show, exacta, quinella, and trifecta wagering. Race 6, number 1, Super Spirit. Make the driver Bob Rowland. Bob Rowland will drive number 6, or excuse me, drive number 1, Super Spirit. Bob Rowland on number 1, Super Spirit in race 6. Turn to race 7. Race 7, there'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Turn to race 8. Race 8 will be the first half of a daily double along with race 9, and it'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Turn to race 9. Race 9 will be the second half of that daily double along with race 8, and it'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Back to race 8. Back to race 8. There's no Trifecta Wagering. Race 8, there is no Trifecta Wagering. Okay, in race 9, number 2, Our Holy Terror. Change the driver to Don Harmon. Don Harmon will drive number 2, Our Holy Terror. Number 3, Overnight Cruiser. Change the driver to Greg Bateson. Greg Bateson will drive number 3, Overnight Cruiser. And number 6, we still need a driver on Cobra Kai Johnny. We need a driver on number 6, Cobra Kai Johnny in race 9. Turn to race 10. Race 10, there'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Race 10, number 3, Fred's Princess. Change the driver to Luke Ebersole. Luke Ebersole will drive number 3, Fred's Princess. And number 3, Fred's Princess is in to be claimed for $9,000. Number 3, Fred's Princess is in to be claimed for $9,000. Turn to race 11. Race 11. First of all, head numbers 1 and 4 are uncoupled for wagering purposes. Head numbers 1 and 4 are uncoupled for wagering purposes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Race 11, number 2, Stormin' at Dawn. Change the driver to Don Harmon. Don Harmon driving number 2, Stormin' at Dawn. Number 4, Little Jedi. Change the driver to Lauren Harmon. Lauren Harmon will drive number 4, Little Jedi. So we're going to have father and daughter driving in race 11. Turn to race 12. Race 12, there'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Race 12, number 4, Professional, has been scratched sick. Number 4, Professional, scratched sick out of race 12. At number 5, Imagine It. Change the driver to Greg Bateson. Greg Bateson will drive number 5, Imagine It. Your attention to the barn. Start hooking your horses for race 1. Hook your horses for race 1. That's Dracula Dragon, Luck of the Dragon, Heart Stack, Hillbilly High Special, 8 Easy Being Me, and Gator Cub. Again, remember, we parade the right way of the track. So when you bring your horses on the track, just keep them down there in that last turn, and then we'll parade them.
And so that was Bill Peters of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference going over the changes in today's program. And now it's time for the playing of the national anthem. And our pre-race festivities are all in the books now. We're getting ready to have all the horses hooked for race number 1 here on day 2 of the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. So taking a look at things yesterday, we had a 10-race card on the Monday program, and Taking a look down through, we'll look at some of our leading drivers and trainers from yesterday's program. On the driving side of things, it was B.J. Roberts taking the top spot with 3 driving victories yesterday. Cam McCown had a double, and it was Derek Flowers, Greg Bateson, Pierce Henry, Jason Merriman, and Emily Hay taking solo victories on yesterday's program. Emily Hay, the victor in the Springhaven Farms Ladies Pace with Insane in Spain. Then on the trainer side of things yesterday, we had a triple for Chris Beaver. He led all trainers with 3 wins, all 3 of those coming with B.J. Roberts holding the lines. So a pretty nice combination yesterday. They swept all 3 races that they were entered in, and I believe that Chris Beaver and B.J. Roberts have 1 entered on today's program that we'll be watching for as well. Brian Brown had a training double yesterday with Cam McCown driving both of his winners, Little Babushka and Seaside Beauty. And then it was Derek Flowers, Brian Boring, Robbie Brooks, Greg Cook, and John Wiesenberger Jr. that had solo training wins on yesterday's 10-race card. So pretty exciting. Yesterday's fastest mile of the day came in the Signature Series Pace, the 10th and final race on the program.
The Monday races will still go as a 6 o'clock post time on Monday.
As Bill Peters goes over a change in the racing program for the Seneca County Fair in Tiffin. But yesterday, the fastest mile of the day was laid down in the Signature Series Pace, the 10th race on the program, by the 8-horse Catch Me Conrad, trained by Greg Cook, driven by Jason Merriman. Stopped the clock at 1:56 yesterday, just 3/5 of a second shy of the all-time track record set by Tatler's Jet. So a pretty lengthy track record as well.
And finished second. The race was in 2:02, but they did not have charted lines, so we do not know how fast Hartstack went. But Hartstack finished second, and the race went in 2:02. There was no betting. The driver was Don Harmon, the trainer Marvin Kraft.
But again, yesterday, 1:56 the mile in the Signature Series Pace, just 0.3 of a second off the track record from Tatler's Jet that was set in 2006. So the 15-year track record still holds heading into today's card. And with some of the 3-year-old colt pacers that we have here today, we could see, and 3-year-old colt trotters as well, could very well see that track record fall. So that remains to be seen. Again, that's the pacing record, trotting record here at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds. It was set by Need a Winner in a time of 1:58 2/5 back in 2018 with Duke Sugg driving and Jay Mullenix doing the training on that one. So those are the 2 track records we'll keep an eye on today. 1:55 2 for the Pacers, 1:58 2 for the Trotters. Looks like we do have the horses out for race number 1. Maybe waiting on just 1 or 2, but most of them are out and ready to get ready for the post parade here, as we're going to have a field originally of 7 that's now been scratched to 6.
Number 5, Chuck Stamos, making a change the driver to Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry will drive number 5, Chuck Stamos, in race 10. All right, you're all out. Let's get them together to line up the parade. Number 1 horse is scratched. Our start printing postword for race 1. This is the first division of the 2-year-old colt pace. This is the Skyworks and Streaker Tractor Sales Trophy Race, going for a purse of $3,979. Number 1, Whole Lotta Skyway has been drawn. Number 2 is Dracula Dragon, owned by Phil Peden of Addison, Michigan, and Bob Tate of Woodland, Michigan, trained and driven by Phil Peden. Number 3 is Luck of the Dragon, owned by the stable Luck of the Dragon of Guelph, Ontario, trained by Jason McGinnis, the driver Luke Ebersole. Number 4 is Heartstack, owned by Eugene Schraben of Portland, Michigan, trained by Marvin Kraft, the driver Don Harmon. Number 5 is Hillbilly High Special, owned by Pearl and Joe Paver of Marysville, Ohio, and Dennis Paver of Raymond, Ohio, trained by Joe Paver, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 6 is Ain't Easy Being Me, owned and trained by Mike Sweeney of Delaware, Ohio, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 7 is Gator Cub, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton, the driver Greg Bateson. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's daily double wagering on races 1 and 2. Win, place, show, exacta, and quinella wagering here in race 1. Your attention to the barns. You plan to warm up after race 1. Have your horse ready to come on the track when the horses for this race are going off. Be getting your horses ready for race 2.
So again, here in race 1, the first division today of the 2-year-old Colt Pacers with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, going for a purse of $3,979. A field originally of 7 scratched down to 6 now, with the rail horse, the 1, Whole Lot of Skyway, scratching sick today. So that leaves 2 through 6 on the gate. 7 will be the lone trailer, despite the scratch here. So everyone on the gate would have slide in one spot, and the 7 will still remain a trailer. So looking down through this field, we have the 2 Drackle Dragon going to be making his first career start today for Phil Peden. The 3 is Luck of the Dragon, a Fear the Dragon first cropper for trainer Jason McGinnis, owned by the Stable.ca fractional ownership group. That is a proud sponsor of the OHHA Fair broadcast. So cool to see them in attendance today. Jason McGinnis doing the training on Luck of the Dragon. Luke Ebersol will be the driver here. Jason told me earlier this week that Luck of the Dragon was actually on pace to be a next generation starter for the stable. So they purchased one of the $10,000 slots in the next generation pace at Scioto Downs back on July 4th weekend. And the plan was to put Luck of the Dragon in there, but he ended up having a throat that was entrapped, and he actually had to have a minor procedure, and that set him back just enough to where he wasn't able to start there in the next generation. Ended up making his first lifetime start in June on the 29th at Marion. He was second by a length and a half to Mr. Nuttin Nice, who actually won a Sire Stakes leg here at Northfield. I believe that was last weekend. So tough company there in that race. Finishing behind Luck of the Dragon was Ain't Easy Being Me, who's the 6th horse in this race. So a really good field there, and his first career start at Marion. The last start out was at Northfield with the Buckeye Stallion Series. He was strapped with post 8, never really got into the race at all. However, Jason was happy with how he finished a 28-second last quarter and race timed at 1:57 and 3. So he was pretty happy with that. He really expects a good effort from him today also, starting essentially from post 2 now with the scratch of the rail horse. The 4 Hard Stack, trained by Marvin Kraft, driven by Don Harmon, coming off of a second place effort on the Michigan Fair Series. The 5 Hillbilly High Special coming off a qualifier in 2:01 and 4 at Scioto Downs. The 6 Ain't Easy Being Me, trained by Mike Sweeney. Cool story about this horse and kind of the inspiration for his name. He actually broke one of his back ankles out in the pasture, and they didn't think he would ever race. And to Mike's surprise, he actually won his first lifetime start out at Paulding on June 15th. And then finally rounding out the field, the 7 Gator Cub, Greg Bateson, the driver for Jimmy Lupton. And we have 6 Colt Pacers in behind the gate, and we'll turn it over to Bill Peters with a call of race number 1.
Here they come. Here, off and pacing. That's Luck of the Dragon going out after your lead, along with Gator Cub. Between horses 3rd, there's Heartstack. Along the rail 4th, that's Hillbilly High Special. Up on the outside 5th, Ain't Easy Being Me. And the last horse after going off stride is Dracula Dragon. As they make the turn now to head down the backside, a race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Greg Bateson has Gator Cub on top by 1 length. Pacing in there 2nd, that's Luck of the Dragon, driven by Luke Ebersol. 3rd is Heartstack, driven by Don Harmon. 4th is Ain't Easy Being Me, driven by Cameron McCown. Racing in there 5th, that's Hillbilly High Special, driven by Pierce Henry. The last horse, Dracula Dragon, driven by Phil Peden. First quarter paced in 28 and 4/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time. That's still Gator Cub by 1 length. Racing second, that's Luck of the Dragon. Right there, close third, it's Heartstack. Fourth is Ain't Easy Being Me. Fifth, Hillbilly High Special, and Dracula Dragon is closing in sixth. No change as they race past that half-mile mark. That's Cub with the lead, and racing right there second, Luck of the Dragon, and on the outside third is Heartstack.
101 and 1.
First half paced in 101 and 1/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. Heartstack now sticks his nose out in front on the outside. Dropping back second along the rail is Gator Cub. Up on the outside third now comes Ain't Easy Being Me, and Ain't Easy Being Me is flying on the outside. Down the backside they go. Heartstack answers the call and paces right on. That's Heartstack with the lead. Ain't Easy Being Me on the outside second.
130 and 4.
3/4 in 130 and 4/5. That is still Heartstack with the lead. On the outside second, Ain't Easy Being Me, and along the rail, it is Hillbilly High Special. Hillbilly High Special and Ain't Easy Being Me both went off stride. As they turn for home, that's Heartstack. And now Gator Cub is paced up to be, now that is Luck of the Dragon. Heartstack and Luck of the Dragon. It's going to be Heartstack. And here they all come. Luck of the Dragon up for place, and Hillbilly High Special for show. A mile in 2 minutes and 4/5.
So I do want to apologize there. The 7 Gator Cub actually did start on the far outside on the gate, so that's my bad. Confusion on my part, so sorry for making it sound like he was starting second here. Did get a great start from Greg Bateson there to take over the lead going into the opening turn, and it was Heartstack that came first up on the outside to start applying pressure there at the halfway marker and was able to overtake for the lead and never looked back after that, going at a mile in 2 minutes and 4/5 for Don Harmon and trainer Marvin Kraft. So pretty good effort there as well, coming off a second place finish on the Fair Series in Michigan, as well as a third place effort at the Buckeye Stallion Series 2 starts back at Northfield. Coming home second was the 3 Luck of the Dragon for trainer Jason McGinnis and driver Luke Ebersol. And then rounding out the trifecta was the 5 Hillbilly High Special for trainer Joe Paver. Pierce Henry was in the bike there. So again, opened things up with a 28 and 4 quarter, slowed it down 32 and 2 in the second panel to take him to the half at 101 and 1. And then the pace picked back up after the half as Heartstack was pouring on the pressure. 29 and 3 in the third panel to get to 3/4 at 130 and 4. And then finally, Heartstack sprinted home in 30 seconds to stop the timer at 2 minutes and 4/5.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Portland, Michigan, comes number 4, Heartstack. Owned by Eugene Schraben, trained by Marvin Kraft, and driven to victory this evening by Don Harmon. Now this is the Skyworks and Streaker Tractor Sales Trophy Race. Looks like we got the T-Red man, Henry Gully, there in the winner's circle too. They got a blanket coming there for you, guys. It's gonna get us your blanket. Let's really hear it here for Marvin Kraft, Henry Gully, Don Harmon, and Heartstack, the winner of race 1. And to Skyworks and Streaker Tractor Sales, the sponsors of this race. Here are the official placings for race 1 from the top. Number 1, Whole Lotta Skyway had been drawn. Number 2, Dracula Dragon was 5th. Number 3, Luck of the Dragon was 2nd. Number 4, Heartstack was the winner. Number 5, Hillbilly High Special was 3rd. Number 6, Ain't Easy Being Me was 4th. Number 7, Gator Cub was 6th. Time of the first quarter was 28 and 4/5. The half was in 101 and 1/5. The 3/4 in 130 and 4/5, with a mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. From the top of your read, scratch 5, 2, 1, 3, 4, 6. A mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. First lifetime win for Heartstack.
So it's Hardstack establishing that lifetime mark of 2 minutes and 4 fifths here in race number 1 at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. We'll step aside and take a break here and be back on the other side with race number 2.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our first season standing the trotter, Muscle Diamond. Cool Winds also welcomed the proven sire, Mr. Apples, to our stallion barn. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to some beach somewhere, Bring on the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 17th.
And we're back here for race number 2 at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, Ohio. And we want to take a minute again to thank Big D Tack and Vet Supply and Cool Winds Farms for their support of the OHHA Summer Fair racing coverage. I know we have some Rockin' Amadeuses in the field here later today, and again, Rockin' Amadeus stands at Cool Winds Farms in Lima, Ohio. Now, I know they're getting ready to start with their yearling prep there for the fall sales season, so best of luck and hope things are going well at Cool Winds Farms. Also do want to give a shout out today. I want to thank my beautiful mother, Susan Scott, my wife, Taylor Scott, and our dog, Gucci Scott, for tuning in to today's broadcast. Appreciate you guys watching, supporting as always. And I do want to thank everyone that's tuning in live from home. So if you are watching and you want to follow a little closer from home, we can hook you up with some free programs. So if you're watching from home right now, go to ohha.com. And once you get to the front page of the website, you'll see the middle white column, and it's titled Horseman. Go about 4 bullet points down, and you'll see fair live stream broadcast and race programs. Click on that, and it'll take you to a new page. And then when you're there, you can see the link that you can click to download today's program here from day number 2 of the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. So also, we have the fair at Carrollton going on right now as well. So if you want to download the program from Carrollton and tune in there, they're on the OHHA Facebook page live there. And then again, you can get the race programs from the same link that I just gave you now. So pretty cool. Again, moving on to race number 2 here. This is the 2-year-old Colt Trotters, the first of 2 divisions for them here today at the Ottawa County Fair. Going for a purse of $5,558, and we have 7 colts going postward. The 1 in here is Buckeye Cash, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr. The 2 is Simple Pursuit, trained by Jessica McCown, driven by husband Cameron McCown. The 3 is BL Flying Gun, trained by Jimmy Lupton. Greg Bateson will do the driving. The 4 is Stony Ridgetop, John Kineski doing the owning, training, and driving on that one. The 5 is Don't Do It, trainer Kent Hess will also be driving. The 6 is Spirit Cash, Ed Greeno Jr. His second horse that he trains in this race, Jason Merriman, will have the driving duties. And then rounding out the field on the far outside, the 7, Rollersville, trained and driven today by Tyler Bates. So rolling through the field here a little bit, Buckeye Cash in the Ed Greeno Jr. barn. Shows a early break at Wilmington last week in the Clinton County Fair, but Ed Greeno Jr. said he expects him to be a lot better today and will be in contention for the win, he hopes. So in there also shows a Scioto Downs qualifier on the 5th of July in which he went in 2:03 and 1. And then his 2 fair starts this season, kicking it back to the Putnam County Fair in Ottawa on June 22nd. He was 3rd there by 2:07 and 2, and also made a start at the Marion County Fair on the 29th of June. Was 2nd in that one in 2:07 and 1. So 3 lifetime starts, 2 of them on the board for Buckeye Cash. Still looking for that first career win. The 2 is Simple Pursuit, Jessica McCown doing the training here. And again, Cameron McCown in the bike for her. Talking to Jessica, this is a gelded son of Uncle Peter, and she said that in his last start, he kind of goofed off and wouldn't keep his mind on business. Actually, that was when they were training down. They said he's a really goofy horse and wouldn't keep his mind on business. They're still trying to help him mind his manners a little bit, but they were, however, happy with how he raced his last start out. He raced really well, didn't finish as well, and they ended up scoping him, found out he was a little sick, so he's had some time to recover between that last start at Scioto Downs and today, and they said he is 100% all good to go. However, he is still very ornery, says Jessica, so that's pretty funny. The 3 BL Flying Gun in the Jimmy Lupton stable. So far, just 1 lifetime start, and that came at the Circleville Fair, Pickaway County, on the 19th of June. Was 4th in that race in a time of 2:13. The 4 Stony Ridgetop for John Kineski, who's going to be doing the training and driving there. 3 lifetime starts with a win and 2 seconds with just over $4,400 made. So first start of the season was at Paulding, was second there by a length and a half. Follow that up at Ottawa with another second place finish in 2:06 and 2. And then third career start was a winning one at the Marion County Fair on the 29th of June. He was first by 2 1/4 lengths in a time of 2:06 to establish his lifetime mark. The 5 Don't Do It for Ken Hess shows just 1 lifetime start here and a maiden event, finished 4th there. That is a son of Break the Bank K. The 6 is Spirit Cash for Ed Greeno Jr. This Southwind Spirit gelding making his first start in the Greeno barn here. Was originally in the Robbie Brooks stable. Makes his way over to Ed Greeno. Jason Merriman going to be doing the driving today on Spirit Cash. And the 7 is Rollersville making his first career start today for Tyler Bates, who will also do the driving on this son of my MVP. Talking with Tyler, he said Rollersville was one of the horses in his stable that kind of struggled with sickness and got behind in training because of that. So that explains why he's making his first lifetime start here today. So Tyler's hoping he can learn something with Rollersville and just have a solid start. And here comes the post parade for race number 2.
Horses are putting postword for race 2. This is the first division of the 2-year-old colt trot. Going for a purse of $5,558. This is the Graymont Trophy Race. One is Buckeye Cash, owned by E.G. Trot LLC and the Broken Brokers Ltd., both of Findlay, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr. Number 2 is Simple Pursuit, owned by Jessica McCown of Ostrander, Ohio, Mark Huber of Worthington, Ohio, and Patrick Huber of Dublin, Ohio, trained by Jessica McCown, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 3 is BL Flying Gun, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton, the driver Greg Bateson. Number 4 is Stony Ridgetop, owned by John Kineski III of Pemberville and Patrick Kineski of Bowling Green, trained and driven by John Kineski III. Number 5 is Don't Do It, owned by Ted Boschma of South Lyon, Michigan, trained and driven by Kent Hess. Number 6 is Spirit Cash, owned by the Broken Brokers Ltd. of Findlay, trained by Ed Greeno Jr., the driver Jason Merriman. Number 7 is Rollersville, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, Ohio, trained and driven by Ty Bates. The number 7 horse, Rollersville, is wearing trotting hobbles. Trotting hobbles on the number 7 horse, Rollersville. Horses will take 1 score and go to the gate. Mute your windows. Closing informant. There's Win, Place, Show, Exact, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 2. Your attention to barns, you plan to warm up after race 2. Have your horse ready to come on the track when the horse for this race are going on. Getting your horses ready for race 3.
I think we should have a pretty good race with this group of young trotters that we have here. Again, just the 2-year-old colt trotters of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. The 1 Buckeye Cash been pretty consistent so far this season, with the exception of that last start out at Wilmington again. But other than that, his other 3 starts and a qualifier look pretty good. Also, the 4 Stony Ridgetop seems to be going and coming into form here for John Kineski as well. Again, 3 lifetime starts with a win in 2 seconds. And again, is showing faster times every time out. So pretty encouraging for the Kineski crew there. Be interested to see, too, how the 6 Spirit Cash does. Again, transitioning Barnes over to Ed Greeno Jr. today, and Jason Merriman will be driving. And then Bill Peters announced there just after the post parade, the 7 Rollersville making his first career start for Ty Bates, going to be wearing trotting hobbles today. Again, horses scoring down and some track prep going on before we get started on race number 2. Again, pretty exciting card yesterday with all of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference fillies, as well as the Signature Series Pace. And don't forget the Spring Haven Ladies Pace. That was yesterday, too. Again, Emily Hay taking the victory in that one with a 13-year-old gelding by Real Desire named Insane in Spain. So that horse is actually involved in an accident in Northfield, his start before yesterday. So that's a great bounce back for them. And congratulations to all connections involved with Insane in Spain. Horses making their turns here on the backstretch, getting ready to approach the starting gate.
Marshall lining up down the backside on the way to the gate. Buckeye Cage moving the rail. On comes Simple Pursuit. BL Flying Gun. Stony Ridge Top. Don't Do It. Spirit Cage with Rollersville on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. Here, off and trotting, that's Buckeye Cage along with Stony Ridgetop going out after the early lead. Up on the outside third is Don't Do It. Racing in there fourth, that's BL Flying Gun. Up on the outside fifth, that's Spirit Cage. Sixth is Simple Pursuit, and the last horse is Rollersville. As they head down the backside, racing toward that quarter-mile mark, John Kineski has Stony Ridgetop on top by 2.5 lengths. Trotting second is Buckeye Cage, driven by Ed Greeno Jr. Third is Don't Do It, driven by Kent Hess. Fourth, that is BL Flying Gun, driven by Greg Bateson. Fifth is Rollersville, driven by Ty Bates.
32.
First quarter was trotted in 32 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time. It is Stony Ridgetop by 3 lengths now. Racing in their second, Buckeye Cage. Don't Do It continues to trot third. Fourth is BL Flying Gun. Rollersville is fifth. Off stride sixth is Spirit Cage. And the last horse also off stride is Simple Pursuit. Coming down to the half-mile mark, that's John Kineski and Stony Ridgetop bringing the horses down to the half. 2.5 lengths back second is Buckeye Cage. Don't Do It still trotting third is BL Flying Gun fourth.
105.
First half trotted in 105 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Stony Ridgetop. Ranging up on the outside second now is Don't Do It. As off stride went Buckeye Cage. Also off stride went BL Flying Gun. Rollersville now slips through at the rail. As they head toward that 3/4 mile mark, that's Stony Ridgetop by 2 lengths over Don't Do It. Rollersville's now trotting third. BL Flying Gun is fourth. Buckeye Cage trots fifth.
136.
3/4 in 136 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Stony Ridgetop now opening up about 5.5 lengths on Don't Do It. BL Flying Gun trotting third. Rollersville is fourth. Then moving up fifth now is Buckeye Cage. Horses are strung out as they race toward home. That's Stony Ridgetop and Don't Do It. It's going to be Stony Ridgetop, and here they all come. Don't Do It up for place with BL Flying Gun up for show.
206 and 4.
A mile in 2:06 and 4/5.
So another impressive start And finish for Stony Ridgetop. Left the gate alertly and got on top and went gate to wire for John Kineski. And again, as I said before the race, a horse that really seemed to be coming into form here and now makes it back-to-back winners at the Marion County Fair and now at the Ottawa County Fair. So congrats to the Kineski crew on that victory there. And that'll also push his lifetime earnings now up over looks like $7,000 here in just 4 lifetime starts. So, again, congratulations, John Kineski. Second went to the 5, Don't Do It, and Kent Hess. Again, coming off a start in a maiden event back on July 14th. Finished 4th there, gets his first start on the board and just his second lifetime start. And 3rd was the 3, BL Flying Gun for Greg Bateson and Jimmy Lupton. Went off stride there just past 5/8, I think it was, and was able to gather and fix the miscue there and was able to come back and finish out the trifecta. Time of the mile, 2:06 and 4 for Stony Ridgetop. Already has that lifetime mark and season mark of 2:06 at Marion in his last start out. Pretty cool for John Kineski, getting a lot of cheers as he came across the wire, and you could see the smile on his face also as him and Stony Ridgetop went on to the victory.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, one of the winners go. Coming in from Pemberville and Bowling Green comes number 4, Stony Ridgetop. By John Kineski III and Patrick Kineski, trained to win a victory by John Kineski III. This is the Graymont Trophy Race. For John Kineski and Stony Ridgetop and the Graymont, the donors of the blanket. Here are the official placings for race 2 from the top. Number 1, Buckeye Case was 5th. Number 2, Simple Pursuit was 6th. Number 3, BL Flying Gun was 3rd. Number 4, Stony Ridgetop was the winner. Number 5, Don't Do It was 2nd. Number 6, Spirit Cash was 7th. Now, number 7, Rollersville was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 32 seconds. The half was in 1:05. The 3/4 in 1:36. With a mile in 2:06 and 4/5. From the top, it should read 5, 6, 3, 1, 2, 7. 4 on the bottom, the mile in 2:06 and 4/5.
2 in a row for Stony
And the upcoming
Ridgetop as he
race
takes
3.
race 2 in the first division of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference 2-year-old colt trot here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. We'll get a quick word from our sponsors and come back with race number 3.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Selling your horse? Sell for free. No fees, no commissions. The only free auction site in the industry. There's no problem selling your horse at harnesshorseauction.com.
And we're back here at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds. And again, Thanks to the stable.ca, the Ohio State Vet Medical Center, and harnesshorseauction.com for their support during the 2021 fair racing season and the Ohio Harness Horsemen Association's coverage. The stable.ca actually has 2 horses in here today, so we saw the first in race number 1, the 3-horse Luck of the Dragon. Fear the Dragon is owned by the stable, trained by Jason McGinnis. And then in the 9th race, the rail horse, the 1, Confederate Cruiser, also owned by the stable and trained by Jason McGinnis. So if you're from the stable and you're a fractional owner that's out there watching today, thanks for joining us here on our broadcast. We really appreciate it. So we're getting ready. We're moving on to race number 3 here on day 2 at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor on the banks of the Portage River. This is going to be the first division of the 3-year-old Colt Pacers with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, going for a purse of $3,845. And we have a field of 7 going to post in this one. And let's meet our horses. The 1, Willie's Last Wish, trained by Ken Hess and driven today by Skip DeMall. The 2 is Pulling the Strings, trainer Steve Boroff, driver Kerry Ream. The 3, Red Camo, Larry Boroff doing the training with Greg Bateson doing the driving. The 4, Sir Charles of Skye and trainer Russell Early. Jason Merriman drives. And the 5 is 6B Hanover. Make the trainer Jimmy Lupton and the driver Luke Ebersol. The 6 is Feelin' Western, trained by Brian Brown. Cameron McCown will be in the sulky. And the 7 is Chips Perfect Rock, trained and driven today by Barry Robertson. So again, field of 7 going postward here in race number 3. And also, again, want to give a quick shout out to my mother, Susan Scott. I gave her a shout out there after race 1, and she hadn't made it to my house to watch the broadcast yet. So thanks for joining in here, Mom. Even though it is a little late, I will forgive you on this one. So thank you for tuning in here at the Ottawa County Fair. And again, if you're also tuning in live and watching us on the OHHA YouTube network, you can add free programs for today's card as well as all the other fairs that we're covering. So if you want to get a program from today's action, just go to our website, www.ohha.com. And once you're there, go down the center column titled Horsemen. So you'll see Horsemen at the top of the white column. Go about 4 bullet points down, and you will see Fair live stream broadcast and race programs. Click on that, and when it takes you to the new page, it'll give you all the options of programs that you can download. So, for example, you could get today's program from here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, or also you can get the Carrollton Fair program on there as well, who's also racing at the same time as us. So feel free to download programs from there. I believe we already have programs up for the Crawford County Fair in Bucyrus tomorrow as well, where they're going to be hosting, I believe it is the 2-year-old Philly Pacers with the Buckeye Stallion series there. So that should be a pretty exciting event as well. Bucyrus, a very, very nice fair track that they have there. And I was actually speaking to a man that was instrumental in reconstructing it and resurfacing it this year, Bill Webb. Actually told me he had been over there at the track to get things ready to go, and he said it's looking exceptionally well, and the banking, again, really high for a fair track. So excited to see some action at the Crawford County Fair in Bucyrus tomorrow. So they'll be racing tomorrow night with a post time of 5:30. 2-year-old Philly Pacers of the Buckeye Stallion series there. Also 3-year-old Colt Pacers with the Home Talent Colt Stakes, the 3-year-old Philly Trotters of the Hometown Colt Stakes, and the 2-year-old Colt Pacers with the Hometown Colt Stakes. Home Talent Colt Stakes. And also Signature Series Pace event there too, going for a purse of $5,100. And then they'll be back on Thursday night with a post time of 5:30 also. So make sure you tune into our broadcast from the Crawford County Fair in Bucyrus tomorrow and Thursday as we're getting ready to parade to post here in race number 3 back at Oak Harbor. Getting the field of 7 bunched up here, trying to make their way to the far turn. And again, this is the first of 3 divisions going postward today of the 3-year-old Colt Pacers with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. And again, each division will go for a purse of $3,845. $145.
Our separating post word for race 3. This is the first division of the 3-year-old colt pace. Going for a purse of $3,845. This is the Lafarge Trophy race. Number 1 is Willie's Last Wish. Owned by Tammy Grover of Swartz Creek, Michigan. Trained by Kent Haas, the driver Skip DeMond. Number 2 is Pulling the Strings. Owned by Kerry Rame of Rockford, Ohio. Steve Boroff of Minden, Ohio. Trained by Steve Boroff, the driver Kerry Rame. Number 3 is Red Camo. Owned by Larry and Tyler Boroff of Tiffin, trained by Larry Boroff, the driver Greg Mason. Number 4 is Sir Charles of Skye, owned by Tommy Householder of Delaware, Ohio, trained by Russell Early III, the driver Jason Merriman. Number 5 is 6B Hanover, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickering, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton, the driver Luke Ebersole. Number 6 is Feelin' Western, owned by VIP Internet Stable LLC of Pixitani of New Jersey and Joseph Rotella of Liverpool, New York, trained by Brian Brown, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 7 is Chip's Perfect Rock, owned, trained, and driven by Barry Robertson of Onstead, Michigan. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. Hurry and don't be shut out. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta wagering here in race 3.
The one, Willie's Last Wish. This is actually a homebred for owner Tamara Grover, coming off of a win in the Michigan Fair Series, as well as a second-place effort as well so far here in July. And then tracking back, also made a start with the Buckeye Stallion Series at Northfield on July 4th. Was 5th in that race in a time of 152.4 in a race that was won by King Kluber in 150.3. So again, tough sledding with that 3-year-old colt pacing Buckeye Stallion Series for sure. The 2 pulling the strings also in the Buckeye Stallion Series that night. And pulling the strings actually in a really hot pace and was able to capitalize on some of those hot fractions. He was 7th at the half, 8.5 lengths off the lead, comes back and finishes 3rd by a length and a half. Race timed in 1:53 with a closer of 28.3. So pulling the strings again, raced very well there, and is also coming off a win in a fair stake at Wilmington last week. The 3 Red Camo also saw Buckeye Stallion Series action at Northfield on the 4th of July, coming in 7th there after starting from post 8, just never really had a chance to get involved in the race, unfortunately starting that far out at Northfield, but was race timed in 1:54.1. The 4 Sir Charles of Skye, possibly the most battle-tested colt in this field, has been racing against the likes of Charlie May in the Ohio Sire Stakes, and actually finished in front of Charlie May in the first leg back at Miami Valley back in May, I believe that was. So something Russell Early was extremely proud of there. This is a homebred Charlie Barley for owner Tommy Householder out of his mare Skyway Hanover by Western Ideal. But Sir Charles of Skye, already a winner of $24,000 in 12 starts this year, and just took a lifetime mark of 150.4 2 starts back at Scioto Downs in non-winners of 2 company. So you got to go 150.4 to win in non-winners of 2 company at Scioto right now. A really competitive class, and he was able to win over Captain's Place, who is a full brother to Catch the Fire. So again, Sir Charles of Skye, very battle-tested here. The 5 6B Hanover coming off of a win. The 6 Feelin' Western pretty sharp right now in the Brian Brown barn. Also saw some stakes action at Northfield on the 4th of July. And Chip's Perfect Rock coming off of a qualifier at Northfield. And that's your field of 7. They're at the gate, and Bill Peters will take the call.
Here they come. Here off and pacing. That's Willie's Last Wish along with Sir Charles of Skye going on after the lead. On the outside then comes Feeling Western third. At the rail fourth is Pulling the Strings. Fifth it is Red Camo. Up on the outside sixth, that is 6B Hanover. The last horse is Chip's Perfect Rock. As they head down the backside to race over toward that quarter mile mark. Now Cameron McCown moves Feeling Western up to gain command by 1 length. At the rail second is Sir Charles of Skye, driven by Jason Merriman, and Jason's not going to sit there. He's going to go out and go to the top. That's Jason Merriman and Sir Charles of racing in there second. That's Feeling Western.
29 and 3.
First quarter in 29 and 3/5 seconds. That's Sir Charles of Skye with the lead. Racing in the golden chair second. That's Feeling Western. Willie's Last Wish is third. Moving up on the outside fourth is Pulling the Strings. Fifth it is Red Camo. At the rail sixth is 6B Hanover. On the outside seventh is Chip's Perfect Rock. 7 pacers well bunched as they come to the half-mile mark. That's Sir Charles of Skye with the lead. Now taking over on the outside though is Pulling the Strings.
Minute and 4.
The first half paced in 1 minute and 4/5 seconds. That's Sir Charles of Skye with the lead. Outpouring on the pressure is Pulling the Strings. At the rail third, that's Feeling Western. On the outside fourth is Willie's Last Wish. Red Camo is fifth. Moving up sixth is 6B Hanover, the last horse, Chip's Perfect Rock. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Sir Charles of Skye along the rail with the lead. On the outside second, Pulling the Strings. Feeling Western third and looking for racing room. Fourth is Willie's Last Wish. Fifth is 6B Hanover, and Red Camo is sixth.
29 and 2.
3 quarters in 129 and 2/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Sir Charles of Skye with the lead. Pulling the Strings on the outside second. Feeling Western at the rail third. Red Camo is now pacing along at the rail fourth as they race toward home. That's Sir Charles of Skye and Pulling the Strings. Sir Charles of Skye and Pulling the Strings. It's going to be Sir Charles of Skye, and here they all come. Feeling Western up for place. Pulling the Strings for show.
57 and 4.
1 mile in 157 and 4/5.
For Sir Charles of Skye, aggressively handled there by Jason Merriman. He was able to take the lead, did go give and go with Feeling Western and Cam McCown, who kind of had a rush there on the outside and took the top spot, but quickly Sir Charles of Skye and Jason Merriman back up to the top. He wasn't going to let traffic be a problem for him today. Wanted to set the pace here. 29 and 3 opened it up for Sir Charles of Skye. He was able to catch a 31 and 1 breather there in the second panel to get him to the half in 1 minute and 4/5. And from there is pretty much everybody trying to give chase to him. He was the horse to beat. Came a back half in 57 flat. And looks like a final quarter of 28 and 2, I believe. If I'm doing the math right there, I believe. So, again, really impressive mile there for Sir Charles of Skye, as I mentioned before the race. Probably the horse to beat, the most battle-tested for sure. I also had another note in here that really, of the 7-horse field, you could probably make a case for 5 or maybe even 6 of them to win today. So a really competitive field. I think Feeling Western was still loaded with a lot of pace there, but just couldn't find any room until it was too late as Cam McCown tried to sneak him up the inside. So Feeling Western comes home second. He's now been first or second in 7 straight starts.
Coming in from Delaware, Ohio, comes number 4, Sir Charles of Skye. Owned by Tommy Householder, trained by Russell Early III, and driven to victory this evening by Jason Merriman. Now this is the Lafarge Trophy Race. Let's have a big hand here for Russell Early III, Jason Merriman, and Sir Charles of Skye, and to Lafarge, the donors of the blanket. Here are the official placings for race 3 from the top. Number 1, Willie's Last Wish was 5th. Number 2, Pulling the Strings was 3rd. Number 3, Red Camo was 4th. Number 4, Sir Charles of Skye was the winner. Number 5, 6B Hanover was 6th. Number 6, Feeling Western was 2nd. Number 7, Chip's Perfect Rock was 7th. Time of the first quarter was 29 and 3/5. The half was in 1 minute and 4/5. The 3/4 in 129 and 2/5 with a mile in 157 and 4/5. From the top it should read 534 162 7 on the bottom, the mile in 157 and 4/5. In the upcoming race 4, number 3 Hard Rock
Action-packed race 3 there against Sir Charles of Skye. Setting the pace and taking the victory there against some other competitors in the Buckeye Stallion series. And you see that a lot here at the 3-year-old colt pace divisions at the fair. You see a lot of these horses dropping down from the Buckeye Stallion series and dropping into these races, making it an extremely competitive division. So that's race number 3 from the Ottawa County Fair. Stick around. We have more from you in Oak Harbor. We'll be back with race number 4.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
So thank you again to Midland Acres for their support of all of our fair coverage this year. And as well, stay tuned at ohha.com to see all of our fair racing broadcast schedules and programs as well. We're back here in Oak Harbor for race number 4. The 3-year-old colt trotters of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. And this one, the first of 2 divisions for them, going for a purse of $4,918. We'll run down through the field here really quick. 5 trotters going to post. The one is Flip the Switch. And the trainer and driver on this one, Dan Venier. So talking with his wife back in the barn area before the race to learn a little more about Flip the Switch. And I did ask her, I said, what is the correct pronunciation of your guys' last name? And she said it is French, so it is Dan Venier. So something new that we all might have learned today. So Flip the Switch making his 3rd career start here today for the Veniers. The 2, Caviar's Yankee, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr. The 3, Hard Rock Echo in Delacio Arriaga is going to be doing the driving and training here. The 4 is Tango With Me, Chris Beaver and BJ Roberts drives. The 5, My Pal Sparky, trained by Jessica McCown and driven today by Cameron McCown. So in this race, you heard me on the 4-horse Tango With Me. That pairing of Chris Beaver as the trainer and BJ Roberts as the driver was really successful yesterday, sweeping all 3 races that they were in. Going to try to make it 4 for 4 here at the Ottawa County Fair today. So again, looking through the field, the 1, Flip the Switch, is making his 3rd lifetime start for the Veniers. He has won this season at Paulding and gave a pretty good effort there. After an early miscue, was able to recover, came back and finished 2nd to Stormy Wings, another good trotter here on the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. The 2, Caviar's Yankee, for Ed Greeno Jr., 3 starts this season with 1 win and 1 second, over $4,100 made, and a mark of 205-1 that he took at Paulding, his first start of the season there. The 3, Hard Rock Echo for Indalecio Arriaga. Horse is having just some trouble staying flat here in his recent starts. Has a qualifier at Northfield this year, in which unfortunately shows a break there, and tracing back to some of his fair starts at the end of last year's campaign as well. So Indalecio trying to figure something out today and get Hard Rock Echo on the right track. He is wearing trotting hobbles today. The 4, Tango With Me. Again, trainer Chris Beaver and BJ Roberts driving. Talking with BJ heading into today's race, he said that Tango With Me is really sharp, really solid right now, but his biggest issue with Tango With Me is that when he gets into high gear, he has a tendency to hit the bike really badly. So something that they're trying to work out here today and kind of ease him into things, and hopefully he'll finish strong. Been racing against some non-winners of 2 Company at Scioto Downs with back-to-back 4th-place efforts, one of which 2 starts back. He tried to go gate to wire with him and just got nipped down the stretch for 4th. And then his last start out came from off of the pace from post 8, was 8th most of the race, and was actually 8.5 lengths off the lead at the half. Comes back, finishes 4th in 4.25 lengths. So, again, Tango With Me, pretty impressive, and again, going up against some really tough competition there at the pari-mutuel track. So we'll see what he does down here at the fair level today. He does show a win. Looks like 5 starts back at Scioto Downs on June the 11th. The Buckeye Stallion Series took a victory by half of a length at Scioto Downs at a time of 1:56.1. And again, he was in really tough in that one as well. He's able to pick up the victory over Blank Space Oz and Malibu Kid in the Dalton Walls stable, a really solid trotter there. So a pretty good group that Tango With Me's been competing with. So we'll see how he can handle the step down at the fair level today. The 5 is My Pal Sparky for trainer Jessica McCown. She also owns this son of Uncle Peter, and she told me that really this is her barn pet and practically one of her children, Jessica said. So just absolutely loves My Pal Sparky. So he's actually named after a good friend and fellow trainer, Kirk Sparks, who tragically passed away a few years ago. So My Pal Sparky named in his honor, and Jessica said that he has a really goofy personality, and she said watch him during post parades because he does have a tendency to just flop his tongue and sling his head around. So a really goofy horse, but again, Jessica said he's our barn pet and like one of our kids. So keep an eye on My Pal Sparky here in the post parade. Another note from Jessica about My Pal Sparky. She said last year they chipped a knee right before he was ready to qualify, and now this year he trained back perfectly, but he's fighting chronic quarter cracks. So far he's already popped 5 this year, and Jessica has to have his feet patched before he trains or races. So that's one thing that they're really fighting with him right now. They don't have him near as far along as they want him to be, but he is showing some really good efforts, including his last time out against non-winners of 2 Company at Scioto Downs on July 15th, and was actually in that same race as Tango With Me, and My Pal Sparky finished in front of Tango With Me, the 4 horse in here as well. Here's the post parade for race number 4. Keep an eye on My Pal Sparky.
Our separating post word for race 4. This is the first division of the 3-year-old colt trot. Going for a purse of $4,918. This is the Seed Consultants Incorporated trophy race. Number 1 is Flip the Switch, owned, trained, and driven by Dan Venier of Pemberville. Number 2 is Caviar's Yankee, owned by E.G. Trot LLC of Findlay, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr. Number 3 is Hard Rock Echo, owned by Harvey Byler of Clara, Michigan, trained and driven by Indelicio Arriaga. Number 4 is Tango With Me, owned by Chris Beaver of Radnor, Ohio, Don Robinson of Cardington, Ohio, and RBH Ventures Incorporated of New York City, trained by Chris Beaver, the driver B.J. Roberts. And number 5 is My Pal Sparky, owned and trained by Jessica McCown of Oceander, Ohio, the driver Cameron McCown. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate, and mute your windows closing in 4 minutes. The twin plate show, exact winner wagering on race 4, any double wagering on races 4 and 5.
I did keep an eye on My Pal Sparky there, and he was giving Cam McCown a little more than he was bargaining for, I think, during the post parade. So that was off camera, though. You guys, unfortunately, not able to see that. He was behind things a little bit, but he kind of goofing around a little bit here, too. But again, 5-horse field going to post here with the 3-year-old colt trotters as part of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, going for a purse of $4,918 in each of the 2 divisions today. we've already looked ahead a little bit here of what we'll be bringing to you on the Ohio Harness Horses Association Facebook and YouTube video networks here. We talked about Bucyrus coming up tomorrow and Thursday night. Also on Wednesday is the Fayette County Fair in Washington Courthouse with the Ohio Colt Racing Association. They'll be going Wednesday and Saturday this week. So tomorrow night's post time at 4:30 p.m. And again, we'll give you the details of how you can watch that here on the OHHA network. And then they'll go Saturday afternoon with a noon post time. So tomorrow night there, it's the 2-year-old Colt Trotters, the 3-year-old Colt Pacers, 3-year-old filly trotters, and the 3-year-old filly pacers, as well as both signature series events on the pace and trot, and also a non-winners of $1,500 lifetime, also eligible non-winners of $500 in 2021 as well on the Wednesday program. And then Saturday afternoon, they'll have 3-year-old Colt Trotters, 2-year-old Colt Pacers, 2-year-old filly trotters, 2-year-old filly pacers, and also the Fayette County Classic, going for an estimated purse of $10,000. And then lastly, a non-winners of $2,500 lifetime, but also eligible non-winners of $1,000 in 2021. So a pretty action-packed 2 days of racing to come at the Washington Courthouse, the Fayette County Fair. And again, we'll be bringing you both days of action, Wednesday and Saturday, here on the OHHA network.
Sparky on the outside. There at the post, starting gate throwing now. Here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Flip the Switch going out after to lead along with Tango With Me. Between horses third, that's Caviar's Yankee. Up on the outside fourth is My Pal Sparky. And the last horse after going off stride is Hard Rock Echo. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Dan Vinier has flipped the switch along the rail with the lead. On the outside second is My Pal Spark. That's number 4. That's Tango With Me, driven by B.J. Roberts, now taking over. Tango With Me with the lead, now dropping back second, flip the switch, and right there third is Caviar's Yankee, driven by Adreno Jr. 29 first quarter in 29 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Tango With Me by a length and a half. Flip the Switch trots in there second. Racing third, that's Caviar's Yankee. Fourth is My Pal Sparky, and farther back fifth is Hard Rock Echo. Front four pretty well bunched as they race down to the half-mile mark. That's B.J. Roberts and Tango With Me bringing the horses down to the half. Flip the Switch in the golden chair second. Caviar's Yankee right there third. Moving up a closer fourth now is My Pal Sparky. 101. First half trotted in 101. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Tango With Me. The closest horse second on the outside is My Pal Sparky. Along the rail third is Flip the Switch. Moving up fourth is Caviar's Yankee, and Hard Rock Echo trails. The pace picks up a wee bit going down the backside. That's Tango With Me still with the lead. My Pal Sparky on the outside second. Flip the Switch along the rail third. Caviar's Yankee right there fourth. 3/4 in 131 and 4/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Tango With Me with the lead. My Pal Sparky still on the outside. Flip the Switch goes off stride third. Moving up now to take over third is Caviar's Yankee. As they race toward home, that's Tango With Me, My Pal Sparky, and Caviar's Yankee. Tango With Me and My Pal Sparky. It's gonna be Tango With Me, and here they all come. My Pal Sparky up for place, Caviar's Yankee for show.
201 and 3.
Mile in 201 and 3/5.
A very nice mile there by Tango With Me and B.J. Roberts. So Again, that duo, we've talked about it here a couple of different times during the broadcast. Trainer Chris Beaver and BJ Roberts, the second trainer for Chris. They sweep all 4 races they entered in here on the 2 days of the Ottawa County Fair. So congratulations to that duo. And again, Tango with Me picking up his second win of the season at a time of 2:01 and 3. Came the back half of that mile in 1 minute and 3/5, and final quarter in 29 and 4. So pretty nice effort by Tango with Me. Again, BJ mentioned that one of his biggest issues with Tango with Me is once he gets really excited in high gear, he will start hitting the bike really bad. So hopefully got some of that figured out today, but nonetheless, still results in a victory. And that's going to push his seasonal earnings up over $27,000. Second went to the 5, My Pal Sparky for the McCowns. And rounding out the trifecta was the 2, Caviar's Yankee for Ed Greeno Jr. And here comes B.J. Roberts back into the winner's circle. Bill Peters, do the honors.
Circle where the winners go. Coming in from Radnor and Cardington, Ohio, and New York City comes number 4, Tango with Me. Owned by Chris Beaver, Don Robinson, and RBH Ventures Incorporated. Trained by Chris Beaver and driven to victory this evening by B.J. Roberts. This is the Seed Consultants Incorporated Trophy Race. That's a big hand here for B.J. Roberts, Tim Johnson, and Tango with Me at the Seed Consultants Incorporated, the donors of the blanket. There are the official placings for race 4 from the top. Number 1, Flip the Switch, was 4th. Number 2, Caviar's Yankee was 3rd. Number 3, Hard Rock Echo was 5th. Number 4, Tango with Me was the winner. Number 5, My Pal Sparky was 2nd. Time of the first quarter was 29 and 3/5. The half was in 1:01. The 3 quarters in 1:31 and 4/5. With a mile in 2:01 and 3/5. From the top it should read 4, 3, 5, 1, 2 on the bottom. The mile in 2:01 and 3/5. In the upcoming race 5, there will be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. Race 5, number 3, Gerald Jett. Change the driver to Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry will drive number 3, Gerald Jett. Number 4, Shell Ya. Make the driver Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor will drive number 4, Shell Ya. Number 7, Surfing the Canyon. Change the driver to Don Harmon. Don Harmon will drive number 7, Surfing the Canyon.
And we'll take another quick break here after race number 4 at the Ottawa County Fair on day number 2 of racing here in Oak Harbor. We'll be back. Race number 5.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands the popular Dancing Yankee, whose first crop hit the ground this year and are great-looking individuals. Cool Winds is also standing Rockin' Amadeus, sire of world champion Ocean Rock. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on September 17th.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
And it's time for race number 5 here at the Ottawa County Fair on the banks of the Portage River. And want to take a minute again to thank Cool Winds Farm and Big D Tack and Vet Supply for their support of our 2021 Ohio Fair Racing coverage. Again, I mentioned before, Cool Winds Farm in Lima standing Rockin' Amadeus. And here in race 5, we're going to see Rockin' Amadeus, one of his sons, on the rail. So let's meet the field here in race number 5. This is the 2-year-old Colt Pacers. Another division for them, going for a purse of $3,979. And here we have a field of 7 going to post, all 7 of them starting on the gate. The 1 is Big Daddy Ralph, trained by Phil Belanger. Justin Belanger will do the driving. The 2 is Tailored Well for Russell Early III and Jason Merriman. The 3, Gerald Jett. Trainer is Steve Novak. And the driver is Pierce Henry. The 4 is Shell Yeah. Trainer Brian Boring. And the driver is Chuck Taylor. The 5, Heaven's Gonna Rock, with trainer Tony Linghan and Skip DeMall doing the driving. The 6, Hollywood Frankie, with trainer Jimmy Lupton and driver Cameron McCown. And rounding out the field, the 7, Surf in the Canyon, Bill Webb trains, Don Harmon in the sulky. So field of 7 going postward in the 2-year-old Colt Pacers here. The 1, Big Daddy Ralph, a Rockin' Amadeus out of Blissful Hall mare, Crystal Daddy Girl. So this is actually a full brother to Rockin' Daddy-O, who you might have seen on the Fair Trail in Ohio last year. And he was actually the winner of the $40,000 fair final at Northfield Park last year in October. So this horse has the pedigree to be really successful here. He's had 3 lifetime starts so far, with a 2nd and 2 third-place efforts for earnings of over $2,100. So this horse was originally bought as a yearling for $10,000 in the blooded horse sale in Springfield, Ohio in November. Entered the Jeff Nysonger barn and went down with Jeff to Florida, I believe, to get trained. Came back and made 2 starts for Jeff at Paulding, a third-place effort, and at Ottawa, a second-place effort, before he was actually sold on OnGate.com, and Justin Belanger was able to scoop him up. I think bought him for around $13,000 here, and as I mentioned before, a full brother to Rockin' Daddy-O, who's been really successful here as a 3 and now 4-year-old in the state of Ohio, and he's actually in the Ron Burke stable right now, racing at Scioto Downs, and Chris Page been doing a lot of the driving with him. Talking with Justin, Big Daddy Ralph, he's a big gangly horse still, very immature, still very green, has shown, again, has the talent, has the family behind him to be really successful and something really special. Looks like maybe it's a family that does get better with age also, and this horse trying to get better with each start out. And Justin said he still doesn't quite understand racing yet, that, you know, when a horse is trying to pass you, you don't just let him go by. So he's still very playful in that regard. And Justin and them are trying to teach him how to race. And, again, a horse that's going to come into his own when he matures. I just know it. So the 2 is Tailored Well, Russell Early training, Jason Merriman driving. And this duo already has a win on the card with Sir Charles of Skye.
6, Cobra Kai Johnny. Change the driver to Ty Bates. Ty Bates will drive number 6, Cobra Kai Johnny, in race 9.
As Bill Peters announces the driver change here later in the card. But, yeah, the 2, Tailored Well, again, that combination of Russell Early III and Jason Merriman already successful, with Sir Charles of Skye, who laid down a pretty monster mile with the 3-year-old Colt Pacers here 2 races back. And Tailored Well, asking Russell Early about him. He's a homebred for Tommy and Andrea Householder of Delaware. It's a son of Well Said. They said he's a big, growthy colt that they expect to be better late this year or as a 3-year-old. So, again, still doing a lot of growing, kind of immature body-wise and stuff, has to kind of grow into that a little bit, so to speak. But so far, 3 lifetime starts and has a couple of qualifiers mixed in there as well. The 3, Gerald Jett, owned by Gerald Migel, excuse me. That's Gerald Migel of Westland, Michigan. He was also the breeder of this Manhart. Pierce Henry going to be doing the driving. Trainer is Steve Novak. As we're getting ready to parade here in race number 5. The 4 is Shell Yeah, making his first lifetime start for Brian Boring. A Down by the Seaside colt, that first crop having a very successful year here so far in early stakes action. Brian Boring again, the trainer on this one. Chuck Taylor, the driver. And the 5 is Heaven's Gonna Rock. Tony Langhan doing the training. Skip Demal, the driver here. Coming off a third-place effort at Paulding and a fourth-place finish at Marion. And here they come for race number 5.
There are your horses for race 5. This is the second division of the 2-year-old colt pace. Going for a purse of $3,979. This is the Red Line Case IH Trophy race. 1 is Big Daddy Ralph, followed by Phil Belanger of Salina, Ohio. Jeff Kesters of Coldwater, Ohio. Trained by Phil Belanger, the driver Justin Belanger. Number 2 is Tailored Well, owned by Tommy and Andrea Householder of Delaware, Ohio. Trained by Russell Early III, the driver Jason Merriman. Number 3 is Gerald Jett, owned by Jerry Migel of Westland, Michigan. Trained by Steve Novak, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Shell Ya, owned by Doug Hartong of Adrian, Michigan, and Doug Hartong Jr., also of Adrian, Michigan. Trained by Brian Boring, the driver Chuck Taylor. Number 5 is Heaven's Gonna Rock, owned by John Dieters of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan. Tony Langhan of Hillsdale, Michigan. Trained by Tony Langhan, the driver Skip Demal. Number 6 is Hollywood Frankie, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, Ohio. Trained by Jim Lupton, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 7 is Surfing the Canyon, owned by D&K Stables LLC of Hicksville. Trained by Bill Webb, the driver Don Harmon. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, Trifecta.
So before the post parade there, I left off with the 6 in this race, Hollywood Frankie. Jimmy Lupton, the trainer of the Sphere the Dragon. Cameron McCown doing the driving. Has one lifetime start coming into today, and that was at the Pickaway County Fair in Circleville back on June the 20th. Was 5th in that race in a time of 2:08 with Brett Miller driving. And the 7 Surf in the Canyon, trainer Bill Webb of Defiance. Owned by D&K Stables of Hicksville. Don Harmon going to be doing the driving. 2 lifetime starts here so far with both of them on the board, a second-place effort and a third-place finish also, just over $1,200 earned. He was second in the opening fair at Paulding by a half a length in 2:09 and 4. Finished behind Seaside Art, a down by the seaside in the Ron Steck stable that was featured on the Freshman Focus with the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. And then also a third-place effort in his last out on the 29th at Marion, and race time 2:06 and 1. And again, some good horses in there too. The Art of Revenge in that race, and Cruisin' Artie from the Jeff Nysonger stable in there as well. So a third place finish, but definitely nothing to hang your head on if you're trainer Bill Webb. Kim Pluta was doing the driving that day at Marion. So again, it looks like to me we are going to see a lot of speed from these inside horses. Look like the 1 and the 2, Big Daddy Ralph and Tailored Well, think going to be trying to leave out of there. And I know Justin Melanja, when he has the rail, really going to hold position strongly and aggressively from there. So he really wants to dictate the pace here. So we'll see if Big Daddy Ralph is ready to leave the gate today. And looking at the 3, Gerald Jett again. Gerald Migel is the owner and breeder on that one, a son of Manhart. Talked to Gerald and met him yesterday back here in the barn area, and he's been in harness racing since 1963 and was giving me a list of a lot of the horses that he is bred and owned, and a very successful list. So it was nice meeting Gerald back here yesterday in the barn area. So here we go, race number 5 getting ready to get underway. 7 horses approaching the gate. And again, our master of ceremonies, Bill Peters, will take us away on the call of race number 5, the 2-year-old Colt Pacers.
Here they come. They're off and And pacing, that's Big Daddy Ralph going out after the lead along with Tailored Well. Up on the outside third is Gerald Jett. On the extreme outside fourth, that's Surfing the Canyon. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Justin Belanger has Big Daddy Ralph on top by 2 lengths. Pacing second is Surfing the Canyon, driven by Don Herman. Racing third is Tailored Well, driven by Jason Merriman. Racing in there fourth, that's Hollywood Frankie, driven by Cameron McCown. Moving along fifth at the rail, is Gerald Jett, driven by Pierce Henry. Sixth is Shell Ya, driven by Chuck Taylor. And the last horse at this point is Heaven's Gonna Rock, driven by Skip DeMall.
31.
First quarter was paced in 31 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, that's Big Daddy Ralph by about 4.5 lengths over Surfing the Canyon. Still racing third is Tailored Well. Flying up on the outside fourth now comes Shell Ya. Fifth along the rail, Hollywood Frankie. Moving up sixth is Heaven's Gonna Rock. And the last horse coming down toward the half is Gerald Jett. Past the half-mile mark, that's still Big Daddy Ralph, but now by only about 3 lengths over Surfing the Canyon.
104.
First half pace in a leisurely 104. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to the 3/4 mile mark. Horses are bunching up now. That's Big Daddy Ralph with the lead. On the outside second is Shell Ya. Along the rail third is Surfing the Canyon. Moving up on the outside fourth is Heaven's Gonna Rock. Fifth along the rail is Tailored Well. Sixth is Hollywood Frankie, and the last horse going to the 3/4 mile mark is Gerald Jett. Past that 3/4 mile mark, that's Big Daddy Ralph by 2.5 lengths. 3/4 in 134 3/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Big Daddy Ralph with the lead, but Surfing the Canyon is gaining with every stride. Shell Ya trying to hold on third, slipping through at the rail now is Tailored Well. As they turn for home, here comes Surfing the Canyon up on the outside to pour on the pressure, and Big Daddy Ralph. Big Daddy Ralph at the rail, Surfing the Canyon on the outside. Big Daddy Ralph and Surfing the Canyon. It's going to be Surfing the Canyon, I believe. Tight at the finish, but it looked like Surfing the Canyon got up in that final stride to nip Big Daddy Ralph.
205 and 1.
A mile and 2:05 1/5.
Very close there. I believe they might have to go to the photo for that one. Bill Peters calling the 7 Surfing the Canyon getting up in the final strides. Hard to tell from our vantage point, too. We'll wait to see what the judges say, but a very good race there, a great finish. And it looked like Big Daddy Ralph, again, kind of as I was expecting, Justin Belanger shooting out to lead, wanting to set the pace, and he was actually a loose leader there for about the first half of the race. Didn't see a challenge, and you could tell that by a 31-second opening quarter, followed by a 33-second second panel to get him to the half in 1:04. So really thought it was his race to lose at that point. Seemed like the ball was really in his court. They came the back in 1:01 1 with a final quarter in 30 3. And again, we're still waiting to hear the results. I believe they may be going to the photo for it. Does look like Bill Webb is walking to the winner's circle, so we'll see here.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, one of the winners gal coming in from Hicksville, Ohio, comes number 7, Surfing the Canyon. Owned by D&K Stables LLC, trained by Bill Webb, and driven to victory this evening by Don Harmon. This is the Red Line Case IH Trophy. I believe Bill Webb's son works for Red Line Case IH. Let's have a big hand here for Bill Webb, Don Harmon, and Surfing the Canyon, and the Red Line Case IH, the sponsors of the blanket.
And momentarily here, Bill Peters will also give us the official placings of all the other horses in the race. I do know the 1 Big Daddy Ralph did get up for second there in that photo with the 7 Surfing the Canyon.
Here are the official placings for race 5 from the top. 1, Big Daddy Ralph was second. Number 2, Tailored Well was third. Number 3, Gerald Jet was fifth. Number 4, Shell Ya was fourth. 5, Heaven's Gonna Rock was seventh. Number 6, Hollywood Frankie was sixth. Number 7, Surfing the Canyon was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 31 seconds. The half was in 104. The 3/4 in 134 and 3/5. With a mile in 2:05 and 1/5. From the top it should read 2:35, 4:76. 1 on the bottom, the mile in 2:05 and 1/5. First lifetime win for Surfing the Canyon.
And this was a 7-1 betting upset here in race number 5 with Surfing the Canyon. Actually pays $16 to win, as you can see on the tote board. So one of our longest shots of the day to win so far. And talking with Bill Webb for the race, he was not overly confident about this horse's chances in this race, just mainly because, again, very green horse starting from post 7. And at the last minute, he had to find a new driver and was able to get Don Harmon to agree to drive here and was very successful, blasted him off from the far outside, and he fell in second behind Big Daddy Ralph, let him cut the mile. Again, fractions seemed to be in Big Daddy Ralph's favor, but it was Surfing the Canyon that got up in the final strides in the stretch for trainer Bill Webb and driver Don Harmon. So congrats to them, setting a lifetime mark of 2:05 and 1 here at the Ottawa County Fair. We'll step aside, get a quick word from our supporters. We'll be back with race number 6 from Oak Harbor.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Hey everyone, if you like horses, you'll love our podcast called Horsing Around. I'm Michelle Gatchell.
And I'm Kelly Bell. And we talk to horse breeders, trainers, and owners about something we all have in common: horses.
We have as much fun learning about horses as we hope you do listening to the people telling us their stories.
Listen Saturday mornings on WDLRradio.com.
Horsing Around is sponsored by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry only found at Bow River. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
Back here at Oak Harbor again, day number 2 of the fair racing meet here at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds. And I want to thank the Ohio State Vet Medical Center, the Horsing Around podcast, and Bow River Jewelry for their support here on the 2021 Ohio Fair Racing coverage on the OHHA Video Network. As we gear up for race number 6 here, the 2-year-old Colt Trotters of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, going for a purse of $5,558. And we'll go through and meet all of our horses here on the lineup. The 1 is Super Spirit, trainer Ann Russell. The driver is Bob Rowland. The 2, Uncle Pete Takes Cash, trainer driver Ed Greeno Jr. The 3, Get Some Cash, trainer Jimmy Lupton. Cameron McCown drives. The 4, Lucky C, trainer Jay Weller, will also be in the sulky. The 5, McPherson, trainer driver Tyler Bates. The 6, Swan Hill of a Time, Charles Taylor doing the training and driving. And the 7, Wicked Rocker, trainer Ken Hess doing the driving as well on that one. So again, 7 trotters going to post here in the Ohio Fair Racing Conference's 6th race at the Ottawa County Fairgrounds. Rolling through the field, Super Spirit, his last start was with the Ohio Sire Stakes, had the rail at Scioto Downs on July 9th. Unfortunately made an early miscue and just never had a chance to be competitive in that race, but again shows the high hopes and the talent that Ann Russell sees in this son of Southwind Spirit. The 2 Uncle Pete Takes Cash in the Ed Greeno Jr. stable, owned and bred by the Broken Brokers of Findlay, Ohio, coming off of a third-place effort at the Clinton County Fair in Wilmington last week. Also in there, a third-place finish at Paulding, a second at Ottawa, and a second at Marion. So in 4 lifetime starts, Uncle Pete Takes Cash has 2 seconds and 2/3 for just over $3,000 made. The 3 is Get Some Cash. Again, Jimmy Lupton doing the training. Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, the owners on there. 1 career start for this son of Cash Hall out of the Tom Ridge mare Chatterley Hall. Shows lines of 2 qualifiers, and then that 1 lifetime start. Was 3rd in a qualifier at Delaware on June 15th. Was 6th, placed 4th at the Pickaway County Fair in Circleville on the 19th. And then a qualifier at Scioto Downs on June the 28th. The 4 is Lucky C for Jay Weller. Again, he's doing the training driving. Also a co-owner on this with wife Louise of Republic, Ohio. 2 lifetime starts, had a 3rd-place effort in his career debut at Ottawa. And then in his last start out, again, made an early break there and just never had a chance to compete in the race at Marion on the 29th. So 2 lifetime starts and has that 3rd-place finish for this Lucky Chucky colt out of the Cantab Hall mare, She's Seaworthy. The 5 McPherson in the Ty Bates stable. He's going to be driving today. A son of Creaton making his first lifetime start, and he's out of a Yankee Glide mare named Ballerina Volo. So this is another one of the Ty Bates stable that told me shows some talent, but unfortunately sickness issues have him behind right now, and that's why he's not making his first start until today's fair. The 6 Swan Hill of a Time made 1 lifetime start so far, and it was a winning one at Paulding back on the 14th of June by 2 lengths in a time of 2:08.4 for Charles Taylor. And again, has not raced since then, so been off for over a month now. So I'll be interested to see how sharp Swan Hill of a Time is here today. Also a member of that first crop of What the Hills here in Ohio, out of the Swan for All mare Black Swan. And the 7 Wicked Rocker, this is a son of Dream Rocker for Ken Hess, who again doing the training and driving here. This trotter has 5 lifetime starts with 2/3 and just shy of $1,500 lifetime earnings. And his last few starts has been on the Fair Trail in Michigan with a 3rd-place effort, a 4th, and then a 3rd in a 2-year-old's event as well.
Okay, the last horse is on its way. Bring him along slowly. The last horse is on its way.
And now here's the post parade for race number 6. The 2-year-old colt trotters of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference.
Here are your horses for race 6. This is the 2nd division of the 2-year-old colt trot. Going for a purse of $5,558. This is the Southeastern Equipment Trophy Race. Number 1 is Super Spirit, owned and trained by Ann Russell of Britain, Michigan, the driving Bob Rowland. Number 2 is Uncle Pete Takes Cash, owned by the Broken Brokers LTD of Findlay, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr. Number 3 is Get Some Cash, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickerington, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 4 is Lucky C, owned by Jay and Louise Weller of Republic, Ohio, trained and driven by Jay Weller. Number 5 is McPherson, owned by Sean McGee of Swanton, Ohio, trained and driven by Ty Bates. Number 6 is Swan Hill of a Time, owned by Taylor Equine Racing LLC of Albion, Michigan, trained and driven by Chuck Taylor. Number 7 is Wicked Rocker, owned by Sherry Lang of Gaines, Michigan, and Kent Hess of Millington, Michigan, trained and driven by Kent Hess. Horses will take 1 long score and go to the gate and mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. Hurry and don't be shut out. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. The number 5 horse, McPherson, is wearing trotting hobbles. Trotting hobbles on number 5, McPherson. Your tents to the barns, you plan to warm up after race 6. Have your horse ready to come on the track when the horses for this race are going off. Be getting your horses ready for race 7.
As we've already looked at the horses in the field here in race 6, we'll continue to look ahead at some of our upcoming fair coverage that we'll be bringing you. Already talked about the Washington Courthouse Fair on Wednesday and Saturday of this week. Also this weekend, we had the Knox County Fair in Mount Vernon with the Home Talent Colt Stakes. They'll be racing on Saturday, July 24th with a 6 p.m. post time, and then back on Monday, the 26th at noon. So on Saturday, they'll be hosting the 3-year-old Colt Trotters, the 2-year-old Filly Pacers, the 2-year-old Colt Pacers, and the 3-year-old Filly Trotters. Then back on Monday, 3-year-old Colt Pacers, 2-year-old Filly Trotters, 2-year-old Colt Trotters, 3-year-old Filly Trotters, as well as the Red Shawl Memorial Open Trot going off on Monday as well at the Mount Vernon Fair. And again, stay tuned to find out how you can watch all the action from Mount Vernon as well as download free programs from those 2 cards. Then looking ahead to the Seneca County Fair in Tiffin, they actually announced this change. This race is with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, and Bill Peters done a good job trying to get the word out the last 2 days here about the change in the program. They were originally scheduled to go Sunday and Monday in Tiffin. Instead, they are going to go Monday and Tuesday. So they've changed up the program. On Monday, everything is staying the same with a 6 p.m. post time. And again, Ohio Fair Racing Conference, 2-year-old Colt Pacers, 2-year-old Filly Trotters, 3-year-old Colt Trotters, 3-year-old Filly Pacers, and then also the Signature Series Seneca County Horseman Memorial Trot on Monday as well. Then on Tuesday, it'll be the 3-year-old Filly Trotters, the 2-year-old Colt Trotters, the 3-year-old Colt Pacers, the 2-year-old Filly Pacers, the Signature Series Seneca County Horseman Memorial Pace, and also the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series will be back in action on Tuesday at the Seneca County Fair in Tiffin, as we have the horses getting ready to approach the starting gate on the backstretch in race number 6. Again, here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, race number 6 at the halfway point here of the program. 2-year-old Colt Trotters of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference racing for a purse of $5,588 in this race.
Here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Super Spirit going out after here to lead along with Uncle Pete Takes Cash. On the outside third is Lucky C. On the extreme outside fourth is Swan Hell of a Time. McPherson trots in there fifth. Wicked Rocker is sixth. And the last horse is Get Some Cash. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Bob Rowland has Super Spirit on top by 3 lengths. Trotting second is Uncle Pete Takes Cash, driven by Ed Greeno Jr. Third is Lucky C, driven by Jay Weller. Fourth is Swan Hell of a Time, driven by Chuck Taylor. Racing fifth is McPherson, driven by Ty Bates.
31.
First quarter trotted in 31 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time. That's still Super Spirit now by only about a length and a half. Racing in there second is Uncle Pete Takes Cash. Lucky C trots third. Swan Hell of a Time is fourth. McPherson is fifth. Farther back sixth is Wicked Rocker. And the last horse off stride is Get Some Cash. No change as they race down to the half. That's Bob Rowland and Super Spirit bringing the horses down to the half with Uncle Pete's Takes Cash in the golden chair second.
102 and 4.
First half trotted in 102 and 4/5 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Super Spirit. Uncle Pete Takes Cash trots up on the outside second, and 3 wide down the backside goes Swan Hell of a Time. Racing fourth is Lucky C. Fifth is McPherson, then comes Wicked Rocker and Get Some Cash. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's Super Spirit along the rail, and on the outside is Uncle Pete Takes Cash. They're only heads apart past that 3/4 mile mark with Swan Hill of a Time right there third.
34 and 3.
3/4 in 1:34 and 3/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Super Spirit along the rail, and Uncle Pete Takes Cash on the outside second. Swan Hill of a Time third. Off stride fourth goes Lucky C as they race toward home. That's Super Spirit, Uncle Pete Takes Cash, and Swan Hill of a Time. Super Spirit and Swan Hill of a Time. Super Spirit. And here the outcome. Swan Hill of a Time up for place, up for show. Uncle Pete Takes Cash. A mile in 2:06.
And it's Super Spirit lowering his lifetime mark by 4 seconds and 2/5 here today at the Ottawa County Fair. Came into today with a mark of 2:10 and 2 at Marion, and now a winner in a lifetime mark of 2:06. Again, Super Spirit coming off that start in the Sire Stakes, had the rail at Scioto Downs for that one. It was never in contention, but again, Ann Russell, a believer in this trotter, and again, he comes away with the victory here today. Bob Rowland doing the driving, and they went off at 5-2 here at the track with the betting public, so nice win bet there for whoever may have placed it. Second was the 6 Swan Hill of a Time, and Charles Taylor made a great charge there down the stretch to get past the 2 Uncle Pete's Takes Cash to take second here in race 6. And again, third, rounding out that trifecta, is the 2 Uncle Pete Takes Cash for Ed Greeno Jr. And coming back down the front stretch here and heading into the winner's circle is Super Spirit.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where one of the winners go. Coming in from Britain, Michigan, comes number 1, Super Spirit. Owned and trained by Ann Russell and driven to victory this evening by Bob Rowland. This is the Southeastern Equipment Trophy Race. Let's do a big hand here for Ann Russell, Bob Rowland, Jody Hamill, Henry Gully, and Super Spirit, and the Southeastern Equipment, the sponsor of this race. Here are the official placings for race 6 from the top. Number 1, Super Spirit was the winner. Number 2, Uncle Pete Takes Cash was third. Number 3, Get Some Cash was 7th. Number 4, Lucky C was 4th. Number 5, McPherson was 5th. Number 6, Swan Hill of a Time was 2nd. And number 7, Wicked Rocker was 6th. Time of the first quarter was 31 seconds. The half was in 1:02 and 4/5. The 3/4 in 1:34 and 3/5, with a mile in 2:06. From the top it should read 1:37. 4:52, 6 on the bottom, the mile in 2:06.
So congrats to Ann Russell again on the victory with Super Spirit. Bob Rowland doing the driving.
In the upcoming race 7,
Southwind Spirit, and lowers his lifetime mark to 2:06. We'll take a quick break as we're halfway home here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. Stay tuned for race number 7.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
Be sure to catch the new podcast, The Top of the Stretch, presented by the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. The podcast keeps fans of racing in the Buckeye State up to date on various topics concerning the sport of harness racing. The news and views of top officials, owners, trainers, drivers, and breeders in Ohio. That's the all-new podcast, Top of the Stretch, on the Facebook page of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association. Be there!
Halfway here home at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, Ohio. Thank you to Midland Acres and the Top of the Stretch podcast for supporting all of our coverage this summer on the Ohio Fair racing circuit. So we really appreciate it. And again, I mentioned it some yesterday, but if you haven't downloaded or listened to the Top of the Stretch podcast yet, you really should. So it's a really interesting podcast put together by Roger Houston, and he does a really good job on it. Most recent episode they put out, episode number 99, was with Cameron McCown. And Roger actually talked to Cameron about his previous career as a bull rider. So that's pretty interesting. And now he's made the transition, of course, over to harness racing. And his wife, Jessica McCown, the daughter of Brian Brown, doing training as well. Both of them here today. So if you haven't already, go download the Top of the Stretch podcast. And I think you guys will really enjoy it. So now it's time for race number 7 as we have horses warming up for races later in the card, and horses also getting onto the track, getting ready to parade to post here. We'll take a look at things with the 3-year-old Colt Pacers. This is the second division, going for a purse of $3,745. We have a 6-horse field here. The 1 is Racing Renegade, trained and driven by Darren Dowler. The 2 is Cabaya Especial, the trainer Joe Paver, Pierce Henry doing the driving. The 3 is Bubby Beach with Ty Bates as the trainer, Luke Ebersol the driver. The 4, County Line Rebel, trainer Chris Hope will do the driving as well. The 5, Hill Yeah, trained by Jimmy Lupton, Cam McCown in the sulky. And rounding out the field, the 6, Whiskey Player, trainer Jane Weller and driver Jay Weller. Taking a quick look through the field, the 1, Racing Renegade, was scheduled to start with the Buckeye Stallion Series on July 4th at Northfield, was actually scratched sick at that time, had a couple of weeks off here to recover, and Darren Dowler says he is all good to go and should be ready here today for the son of Racing Hill that was bred by Black Magic Racing and Todd Luther. Taking a look back again, this horse has been racing with non-winners of 1 and non-winners of 2 company at Scioto Downs. Did get that first pari-mutuel win back on June 15th at Scioto with a 154-1 effort there with Darren Dowler at the controls as well. And they won that race at nearly 35-1. The 2, Caballo Especial, depending on how fancy you want to get with the pronunciation there, trained by Joe Paver and Pierce Henry doing the driving, coming off of a qualifying effort at Scioto Downs in 158-3. Ty Loft was driving that day for Joe Paver. This horse has 7 starts so far this season. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to find the board yet, so Pierce Henry going to try to work some of his magic today to change that. The 3 is Bubby Beach for Ty Bates, Luke Ebersol doing the driving for the son of Bring on the Beach, the only full brother of Some Beach Somewhere, and he stands at Cool Wind Farms in Lima. Talking with Ty about Bubby Beach, he said he had a hairline fractured P1 that ended his 2-year-old season early after just 2 starts. They said he's still just a little too aggressive, but he's starting to show signs of settling in. The only thing today that kind of concerns Ty is that this is his first start on a fair track. So if you look down through his racing lines, if you happen to have a racing program at home, and again, I'll let you know how you guys can download some of those. He's only made starts at Northfield and Scioto Downs this year. So again, first time on a fair track for Bubby Beach. The 4, County Line Rebel, Chris Hope training and driving. This horse was a scratch at Marion when what was supposed to be his first start of the season this year. Scratch for personal reasons there. So he'll be making his 2021 season debut from post 4 here at Oak Harbor. The 5 is Hill Yeah for trainer Jimmy Lupton and driver Cam McCown. You might remember this son of Racing Hill was actually in the Ron Burke stable last season, made 11 starts with 1 win, 1 second, and 1 third, and made just over $24,000 in just those 11 starts. And he took a mark in that win of 153-4 at Scioto Downs. So far this season, though, 5 starts, has not been able to find the board yet for Jimmy Lupton. They've been racing at Wellston in the Fair Stake last week, was 4th there, and also has a qualifier at Hoosier Park in 59-3 here on July the 10th. 6 Whiskey Player, again in the Weller stable here. Jay Weller doing the driving today, coming off a second place effort in the non-winners of 1 to be claimed for $7,500 at Northfield on July 14th. Ryan Stahl was the driver that night, 158-1, the time of the mile for Whiskey Player.
Bowling Green is going to have pari-mutuel wagering this year. There will be pari-mutuel wagering at Bowling Green this year. They're racing on Tuesday, August 3rd at 5 o'clock. And Wednesday, August 4th at 5 o'clock. That's the Wood County Fair at Bowling Green. Tuesday, August 3rd, 5 p.m. Wednesday, August 4th, 5 p.m. Again, pari-mutuel wagering this year.
And going through the field of 6 horses, as I mentioned before, the 1 is a Racing Hill. The 2 is a Mr. Wiggles. The 3, Bubby Beach, is a Bring on the Beach. The 4, County Line Rebel, is a G's House. The 5 is a Racing Hill. And the 6 is a Strong Player. So we have a nice variety here in this race as well. Really think the 1 Racing Renegade going to be pretty tough from the rail here. Again, been racing against some pretty tough company in the non-winners of 1 and 2 level at Scioto Downs this summer. And also was scheduled again to make that Buckeye Stallion Series start, was scratch sick at that time. So I believe Darren Dowler has some high hopes for this son of Racing Hill. And again, trying to get the horses all rounded up for post parade here on race number 7 at the Ottawa County Fair. We are halfway home this 12 race card. Still a lot of great action to go here. Some more stakes with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, as well as the Signature Series free-for-all trot in race number 11, the Gordon Whitty Trot, as it's known. 5 horses going postward for that one.
I think that's a parade of them. I start putting postword for race 7. This is the second division of the 3-year-old Colt Pace, going for a purse of $3,745 and the Genoa Mini Mart Trophy. Number 1 is Racing Renegade, owned by Darren Dowler of Prospect, Ohio, and Larry Bettler of Sunbury, Ohio, trained and driven by Darren Dowler. Number 2 is Caballo Especial, owned by Pearl and Joe Paver of Marysville and Dennis Paver of Raymond, trained by Joe Paver, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 3 is Bubby Beach, owned by Bob Geist of Mendon, Ohio, trained by Ty Bates, the driver Luke Ebersole. Number 4 is County Line Rebel, owned by Kenneth Briggs of Dayton, Ohio, and Gary Loy of Bryant, Indiana, trained and driven by Chris Hope. Number 5 is Hill Ya, owned by Bartley Traditions Racing of Pickering, Ohio, trained by Jim Lupton, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 6 is Whiskey Player, owned by Stephen Reese of Republic, Ohio, trained by Janie Weller, the driver Jay Weller. Horses will take 1 long score and go to the gate. Mutual windows closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 7. Your tents to the barns. You plan to warm up after race 7. Have your horse ready to come on the track when the horses of this race are going off. Beginning your horses ready for race 8.
Looking ahead to more fair action, we'll be bringing you here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Video Network as we tune in to next week, the Union County Fair at Marysville with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference will get started this coming Sunday, July 25th at 11 a.m. They're going to have the 2-year-old filly trotters, the 3-year-old colt trotters, the 2-year-old colt pacers, and the 3-year-old filly pacers, as well as the Union County Trot on Sunday, July 25th with a post time of 11 a.m. at Marysville. Then they'll be back on Monday, July 26th at 11 a.m. And they'll have the 2-year-old colt trot, the 3-year-old filly trot, the 2-year-old filly pace, the 3-year-old colt pace, and then the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series pace as well on Monday. So that is with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference. And again, stay tuned to the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Facebook page for details on how you can tune in live for that broadcast. Also, as we roll into next week, the Lake County Fair will be going on in Paynesville, Ohio. Again, the Ohio Fair Racing Conference putting on the program there. Just one day of racing. That's Tuesday, July 27th, with a post time of noon from Paynesville. And again, a lot of Ohio Fair Racing Conference stakes on that card, as well as the Signature Series Pace and Trots as well. So the Jerome Osborne Memorial Signature Series Pace and the Forrest Pappy Cone Memorial Trot with the Signature Series as well on Tuesday at noon at Paynesville for the Lake County Fair. And we have the horses gathered up on the backstretch.
Hillia with Whiskey Player on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Racing Renegade going out after the lead along with Bubby Beach. At the rail third is Caballo Especial. Up on the outside fourth is Hill Ya. Racing fifth is County Line Rebel. And the last horse is Whiskey Player. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Luke Eversole is out and on the move with Bubby Beach, and Bubby Beach takes over. Dropping back second is Racing Renegade, driven by Darren Dowler. At the rail third is Caballo Especial, driven by Pierce Henry. Fourth is County Line Rebel, driven by Chris Hope. Fifth is Whiskey Player, driven by Jay Weller. And the last horse after making a little bobble was Hill Ya, driven by Cameron McCown. First quarter paced in 28 and 1/5 seconds. That's Bubby Beach with the lead. Racing second is Racing Renegade. Third is Caballo Especial. County Line Rebel is fourth. Whiskey Player fifth. And the trailing horse is Hill Ya. 6 pacers pretty well bunched as they come to the half-mile mark. That is still Bubby Beach with the lead. First half paced in 57 and 1/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Bubby Beach. The closest horse second is Racing Renegade. Moving along third is Caballo Especial. Moving up on the outside fourth is Whiskey Player. Between horses fifth is County Line Rebel. And the last horse is Hill Ya. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. Now taking over is Racing Renegade. Back to second is Bubby Beach. Moving up third now is Whiskey Player. 3/4 in 127 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Racing Renegade with the lead. Bubby Beach second and trying to come on once again. And closing in third is Whiskey Player along with Caballo Especial. As they race toward home, that's Racing Renegade and Bubby Beach. Racing Renegade and Bubby Beach. It's going to be Racing Renegade. And here the outcome. Bubby Beach up for place. Whiskey Player for show. A mile in 1:58 and 4/5.
And it's Racing Renegade taking the victory in race number 7. A nice drive by Darren Dowler, who also does the training there. It was the 3 Bubby Beach, Ty Bates, the trainer, Luke Ebersol, the driver, that blasted out to the lead there and set some pretty hot fractions early, 28-1 to open it up. Got to the half in 57-1. And for Bubby Beach, that's roughly what he was getting to the half in at races at Northfield and Scioto Downs. So 57-1 on a fair track, probably pretty hot. And it was Racing Renegade, that was able to make his move at the 5/8 and get up beside Bubby Beach and never look back after that to score the victory in 158-4. So it looks like they came back in 101-3. And last quarter was in 31 4/5 seconds for Racing Renegade. And he's coming around the far turn here and getting to turn his way into the winner's circle, where Bill Peters will take things away.
Down the track into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Prospect and Sunbury comes number 1, Racing Renegade, owned by Darren Dowler and Larry Bettler, trained and given a victory by Darren Dowler. Now, this is the Genoa Mini Mart Trophy Race. Let's have a big hand here for Darren Dowler, Larry Bettler, and Racing Renegade, and to Genoa Mini Mart, the sponsor of this race. There are the official placings for race 7 from the top. Number 1, Racing Renegade was the winner. Number 2, Caballo Especial was 4th. Number 3, Bubby Beach was 2nd. Number 4, County Line Rebel was 5th. Number 5, Hill Ya was 6th. And number 6, Whiskey Player was 3rd. Time of the first quarter was 28 1/5. The half was in 57 1/5. The 3/4 in 127. With a mile in 158 4/5. From the top it should read 142.563. A mile in 158 4/5.
So it's Racing Renegade making it 2 wins and 5 starts so far this season, pushes his his yearly earnings up over $7,000 in just those 5 starts. Congratulations to driver, trainer, and co-owner Darren Dowler. We'll take a quick break here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association YouTube page, and we'll be back with race number 8 from Oak Harbor.
The Ottawa County Fair is the youngest of its kind in the state of Ohio. The official record begins in 1964, but its history dates back much further. The very first fair was held in Port Clinton almost 160 years ago. The location of the fair caused major conflict between Ottawa County towns. After 2 decades of dispute, Port Clinton and Oak Harbor decided to each hold their own independent fair. With neither seeing much success, no fair would be held in Ottawa County for the entire next century. The Ottawa County Agricultural Society was formed in the early 1960s. The organization spearheaded the reestablishment of a junior fair. It consisted of only 2 tents and a wagon pushed together to make a stage, but it was a hit. The fair grew quickly, and by 1968, the permanent fairgrounds was purchased, a racetrack was built, and harness racing was introduced the same year. The sulkies brought new excitement for spectators. Today, the Ottawa County Fair features 2 days of standardbred racing. They are a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference and include a leg of the Spring Haven Farm Ladies Driving Series.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Always good to learn about our hosting fairs here, and that was a nice fair special and history piece put together about the Ottawa County Fair here in Oak Harbor. Really proud to have 2 days of harness racing here. They have a big sign out by the front gate that has today's dates with harness racing listed on it with the words "you can bet on it" underneath. So pretty cool here, and again, we've had a pretty good crowd here both days in Oak Harbor, so really nice to see. Again, we're back here after the break with race number 8, the 3-year-old Colt Trot, going for a purse of $4,918. And in this one, we're going to have a field of 5. The 1, I'm in Deep Chip, trained by Jane Weller. Jay Weller doing the driving. The 2, Claire's Favorite, trained by Kent Hess. Skip DeMall doing the driving. 3, Best Value, Norman Robbins the trainer, Pierce Henry the driver. 4, Don't Take My Keys, John Kineski trains and drives. And rounding out the field is the 5, Striking Lion, trainer and driver, Bob Rowland.
Number 2 horse, Claire's Favorite. Claire's Favorite raced on July 17th in Hastings, Michigan, at post position 4 and finished second. Again, there were no charted lines. The race time was 2:05 and 1/5. The mile went in 2:05 and 1/5, and Claire's Favorite was second. There was no betting. The driver was Skip DeMall. The trainer, Kent Hess.
Looking back at the field, the 1, and you got to watch yourself on this name, I'm in Deep Chip. And I talked earlier today to Jane Weller, and she actually told me the story here about this horse. So one of her grandsons asked, what's the name of the horse? And she mentioned that he was a Deep Chip. And her grandson repeated back something that rhymed with that. And they all had a pretty good laugh about it. And that's how the name I'm in Deep Chip was born. So pretty cool story from Jane there. I asked her, what is I'm in Deep Chip like? She said, honestly, he's still in kindergarten, Austin. So he's a very mature horse. And they actually joked that when he hit his head earlier, he might have knocked out the last 2 brain cells he had left. So the Wellers are having a lot of fun here with their homebred I'm in Deep Chip. The 2 is Claire's Favorite for Kent Hess. Skip DeMall doing the driving. You heard Bill Peters there after the post parade announcing some of the lines here in the program, as Claire's Favorite has recently competed on the Michigan Fair Stakes in the last 2 starts. On July 12th, a second place effort, and on July 17th, a second place effort. So far this season, 10 starts, 2 seconds, 1 third, with over $2,300 made for Claire's Favorite. The 3 is Best Value, Norman Robbins and Pierce Henry teaming up on this one. 10 starts so far this season with 1 win, taking a mark of 58-1 at Northfield, and also has 2 third-place finishes as well, just over $9,000 earned. As we're getting ready for the post parade in race number 8, Bill Peters.
Our start printing post word for race 8. This is the second division of the 3-year-old Colt Trot, going for a purse of $4,918. This is the area mechanical. That's John Vallant's trophy race. Number 1 is I'm in Deep Chip, owned and trained by Janie Weller of Republic, Ohio, the driver Jay Weller. Number 2 is Claire's Favorite, owned by Marge Deshetsky in North Branch, Michigan, trained by Kent Hess, the driver Skip DeMall. Number 3 is Best Value, owned by Norm and Sue Robbins of Republic, Ohio, trained by Norm Robbins, the driver Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Don't Take My Keys, owned, trained, and driven by John Kineski III of Pemberville. Number 5 is Striking Lion, owned, trained, and driven by Bob Rowland of Jackson, Michigan. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mutual windows closing in 4 minutes. There's daily double wagering on races 8 and 9. Win, Play, Show, Exacta, and Quinella wagering here in race 8.
Going through the field a little further here, the 4 is Don't Take My Keys in the John Kineski barn. He'll also be doing the driving here today. And so far this season, Don't Take My Keys, a Uncle Peter colt, has 4 starts with 1 second place effort and earnings of $1,700. That second place effort came at Ottawa in a time of 2:03 and 2 for John Kineski. The 5 rounding out the field, Striking Lion for Bob Rowland. I talked to Bob about this colt back at Paulding over a month ago, and this is a Don't You Forget It colt. And I asked Bob, and he said he has lots of speed, awesome, but he just doesn't know how to use it yet. Still just a little immature, still learning. And Bob said overall, he's just a really nervous horse. And Bob said he's had a lot of these Don't You Forget It trotters, and said really it just seems to be a nervous sire and family altogether. So something that he's learned with his many years of experience, and something he shared with me. Again, something you're really not going to find in the program, and I'm very appreciative of all the horsemen that have helped me here at all the fairs I've done so far this season. Everyone's been super cooperative and just honestly, genuinely excited to help me put together these broadcasts. So we appreciate all of your help here, and also haven't given my cameraman Tim Edmonds some love today. He's doing a good job as well with Trot and Pace marketing, and I'm glad to have him up here at Oak Harbor with me both of these days. Done a spectacular job, and I hope you guys at home are enjoying it as well. So if you are watching and you haven't already, you can still get a free program for the final 5 races here today. If you want to do that, go to www.ohh. And they're going to draw things out just a little bit more here to let more bettors get through the window. But in this field, it looks like 5 horses, and honestly, I think it's a pretty wide open race. When I was looking through things, didn't really look like to me there was going to be a horse that would be the runaway favorite in this one, in my opinion, anyhow. So we'll see how the race shakes out. Again, with any trot race you see, it's something where anything can truly happen. So you got to keep your eyes peeled on this one. But again, I think it's a pretty wide open group.
Or you can turn them and take them to the gate.
And that's Pierce Henry on camera right now for you, 24 years old, in the black, white, and blue colors, Does his training at the Putnam County Fairgrounds in Ottawa. He's originally from Leipzig and a graduate of Viking there. So far, 73 drives this year, 7 wins, 7 seconds, and 9 thirds for Pierce. And he's aboard best value in this race, the 3-horse. Trying to get the 5 trotters rounded up here as they're down in the first turn, and they'll head down the backstretch near the quarter pole to pick up the starting car. And again, another storyline from yesterday. We actually, unfortunately, had some starting car issues, and we had to start the last 3 races with a gentleman's start. And it was a good job by all horsemen and judges organizing that yesterday. And we've been very fortunate today. We got the starting car back for all 8 races so far.
They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. The year off and trotting, that's Best Value going out after the lead along with Claire's Favorite. Up on the outside, third is Striking Lion. Fourth is Don't Take My Keys. And the last horse is I'm in Deep Chip. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Pierce Henry has Best Value on top by 2.5 lengths. Trotting second is Claire's Favorite, driven by Skip DeMall. In their third is Striking Lion, driven by Bob Rowland. Fourth is Don't Take My Keys, driven by John Kineski. And fifth is I'm in Deep Chip, driven by Jay Weller. First quarter trotted in 30 and 4/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, still Best Value by 1.5 lengths over Claire's Favorite. Striking Lion continues to trot third. Don't Take My Keys is Lion. And for the back fifth is I'm in Deep Chip. Front four well bunched as they go to the 3/4 mile mark. Now Don't Take My Keys sticks his nose out in front on the outside. Dropping back second along the rail is Best Value. Claire's Favorite is third. Fourth it is Striking Lion. And then comes I'm in Deep Chip. 3/4 in 134 and 1/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Don't Take My Keys on the outside and Best Value along the rail. They're only heads apart as they race for home. Just Don't Take My Keys on the outside. Best Value at the rail. Don't Take My Keys and Best Value. It's got to be Don't Take My Keys. And here they all come. Best Value up for place. Claire's Favorite for show. 1 mile and 2:03 and 1/5.
And it's John Kineski and Don't Take My Keys getting up in the final strides over the three Best Value and Pierce Henry, who tried to take them all the way. Opened it up, and it was Best Value out of the gate fast and to the lead to an opening quarter of 30 and 4/5 seconds. Took a nice 32 and 1 stroll to the half in 1:03. Got to 3/4 in 1:34 and 1. And Don't Take My Keys able to take the victory. And I think Bill Peters did announce the final time of the mile. I may have missed it there. We'll track it down during the winner's circle presentation here. But again, it's the four, Don't Take My Keys, and John Kineski getting his first win of the season. Second was the three, Best Value and Pierce Henry. And coming home third was the two, Claire's Favorite and Skip DeMall. And looking at the tote board here, also looks like Don't Take My Keys went off at 7-2 here for the betting public at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. And there are a lot of them here, which is really cool to see. And here we go with the winner's circle presentation for race 8.
Circle run of the winners go. Coming in from Pemberville, Ohio, comes number 4, Don't Take My Keys. On train to deliver the victory by John Kineski III. This is the Area Mechanical John Valance Trophy Race. Let's have a big hand here for John Kineski and Don't Take My Keys. And Area Mechanical, that's John Valance Trophy Race. Here are the official placings for race 8 from the top. Number 1, I'm in Deep Chip was 5th. Number 2, Claire's Favorite was 3rd. Number 3, Best Value was 2nd. Number 4, Don't Take My Keys was the winner. Number 5, Striking Lion was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 30 and 4/5. The half was in 1:03. The 3/4 in 1:34 and 1/5. Well, a mile in 2:03. 5, 3, 2, 1, 4 on the bottom. The mile in 2:03 and 1/5. New lifetime mark for Don't Take My Keys. In the upcoming race 9, number 2, Our Holy Care. Make the driver, Don Harmon. Change the driver to Don Harmon on number 2, Our Holy Terror. Number 3, Overnight Cruiser. Change the driver to Greg Bateson. Greg Bateson will drive number 3, Overnight Cruiser. Number 6, Cobra Kai Johnny. Change the driver to Ty Bates. Ty Bates will drive number 6, Cobra Kai Johnny. There'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering in race 9.
Only 4 more races to go on day 2 of the harness racing meet here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, Ohio. We're going to step aside, take a quick break, and we'll be back with race number 9.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders ship that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our first season standing the trotter, Muscle Diamond. Cool Winds also welcomed the proven sire, Mr. Apples, to our stallion barn. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to some beach somewhere, Bring on the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 17th.
Buying or selling a racehorse? OnGate.com is your one-stop website. OnGate has changed the way racehorses are bought and sold. Easy to view listings makes it easy to find your next champion. Buy or sell at OnGate.com.
Back for race number 9 here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. Again, only 4 races remaining here today. As I was watching Justin Belanger going by, warming up one of his horses in the 12th race here later today. But here in race number 9, we have the 2-year-old Colt Pacers going postward. And this division is going off for $3,979. And we have a field of 7 here. And let's meet them. The 1 is Confederate Cruiser. Trainer Jason McGinnis. Luke Ebersol drives. The 2, Our Holy Terror. Bill Webb, the trainer. Don Harmon selected as the driver. 3, Overnight Cruiser. Greg Bateson trains and drives. The 4, Greater Than Aces. Dean Santantonio does the training, and Ryan Deaton does the driving. The 5, Oh Risky, Daniel Korfman training and driving. The 6, Cobra Kai Johnny, Ty Bates trains and drives. And the 7, Red Vintage, Jane Weller does the training. Jay Weller will do the driving in this one. Again, a field of 7. So taking a closer look on the 1, Confederate Cruiser, a Yankee cruiser out of a Sun Beach somewhere mare named Hurricane Queen Rose. Talked to Jason McGinnis about Confederate Cruiser, owned by thestable.ca. Shout out to you guys if you're watching and listening here today, as they are a fine supporter and sponsor of our fair coverage this season. But Jason, talking about Confederate Cruiser, said he should be really tough in here from the rail. He qualified really well, but made a break in his first start, and that was in a 2-year-old non-winners of 1 parimutuel race at Northfield on June the 23rd. Still rebounded after that early break to come home and get a check 5th in 157-3. After that race, Jason made some adjustments and pulled his hobbles in just a little bit, and now he raced really well his last time out, was going up in competition to the Buckeye Stallion Series for 2-year-old Colt Pacers. He started from post 6 and was able to fight hard and grind it out. Came home with a 4th place finish and just 3 lengths off the lead in 156-4 with Anthony McDonald doing the driving there. So Jason McGinnis feels pretty good about where Confederate Cruiser is coming into this race, and feels only better that he has the rail. The 2, Our Holy Terror, trained by Bill Webb, who actually bred this Western Terror colt out of a mare that he trained, an artistic fellow mare named Little Miss Artist. So talked to Bill about him earlier today. Still very green, because this is going to be his first lifetime start today. He shows 2 qualifiers at Hoosier Park. In his most recent outing, he was 3rd in a qualifying effort that went in 1:59.4 with a final quarter of 28.2. The 3, Overnight Cruiser, talking with Greg Bates, and he said this Yankee Cruiser colt is still very green as well, making just his 3rd lifetime start today. In his 2 previous starts, he did have a 2nd place finish, and that came at Marion on the 29th of June in 2:08.1. And that was behind a colt named Terror on the Track, who is just that, having a really good season so far. The 4, Greater Than Aces, coming into this race, a Do Me That Again colt out of the Aces and Sevens mare Golden Ace, has 3 lifetime starts and $800 earned. Does have a qualifying win at Northfield on the 24th of June in 2 minutes and 1/5, with a closing quarter of 29.3. And so far in his other starts, he's been running in 2-year-old non-winners of 1 races at Northfield and Scioto Downs. The 5 is Oh Risky for Daniel Korfman. Talked with him earlier today about this big risk out of a Dragon Again mare named Oh Hanover, and talking with Dan and his daughter, and they said that this colt is just an absolute love bug and the biggest snuggler. So they really enjoy having him. He is just a nice horse to work and be around. And I saw him back there earlier giving out some kisses and stuff like that to Dan's daughter. So just a really loving horse. And Dan said that he has trained so far in 2:10 at the Seneca County Fairgrounds in Tiffin. So we'll see what he can do here in his 3rd lifetime start. The 6 is Cobra Kai Johnny for Ty Bates, who's going to be doing the driving here. He's coming off a start with the Buckeye Stallion Series at Northfield on July 12th, a 6th place finish there. But again, some pretty solid numbers, 158.1 for the mile, 28.3 to close it out. 3 lifetime starts, and he does have a 2nd place effort at Ottawa in the fair there in 2:03.4.
Our separating post ready for race 9. This is the 3rd division of the 2-year-old colt pace, going for a purse of $3,979. This is the Bay Tractor Company and Dr. Mike Stone Trophy Race. Number 1 is Confederate Cruiser, owned by the stable Confederate Group of Guelph, Ontario, trained by Jason McGinnis, the driver of Luke Ebersole. Number 2 is Our Holy Terror, owned by Bill Webb of Defiance and Denny Miller of Archbold, trained by Bill Webb, the driver of Don Harmon. Number 3 is Overnight Cruiser, owned by Greg Bateson of Toledo and Hayter Stables LLC of Temperance, Michigan, trained and driven by Greg Bateson. Number 4 is Greater Than Aces, owned and trained by Dean Santantonio of Walton Hills, Ohio. The driver is Ryan Deaton. Number 5 is Oh Risky, owned, trained and driven by Dan Korfman of Fremont. Number 6 is Cobra Kai Johnny, owned by Cedar Point Beach Racing of Fremont, Ohio, and Suzanne Bates of Gibsonburg, Ohio, trained and driven by Ty Bates. And number 7 is Red Vintage, owned by Charles Mooney of Avon Lake, Ohio, and Stephen Reese of Republic, Ohio, trained by Janie Weller, the driver, Jay Weller. Horses will take 1 long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 9. Your attention, Mars, we're getting your horses ready for race 10.
And we left off, we were talking about Cobra Kai Johnny there before the post parade. Again, 3 starts, 1 2nd place finish. That came at the Putnam County Fair in Ottawa, and he's made $1,200. So I talked to Ty Bates to learn a little bit more about Cobra Kai Johnny, and in Tyler's words, he is an absolutely beautiful McCardle stud colt. Really likes the looks of him. He said he's very talented, but of course, still learning to race. Again, just his 4th lifetime start here today. Green, just like a lot of these colts in this group. But again, He is talented, but he's going to have to overcome post 6 in here, which is one of Tyler's biggest concerns coming in. The 7 Red Vintage, Jane Weller doing the training, Jay Weller doing the driving. This is going to be the first lifetime start for this Western Vintage colt, and he is out of a I Am a Fool mare named People Like Me. So in this group, again, taking a look at it in the program, it looks like the 1 Confederate Cruiser is going to be really hard to beat in here, especially from the rail, and again, has gone up against some high-level stakes competition already in the Buckeye Stallion Series this season. And Jason McGinnis, again, feels pretty confident in here also for the stable Confederate group. Also, the 4 Greater Than Aces, again, been racing against 2-year-old non-winners of one company, and will drop into the fair level here today. And then also Cobra Kai Johnny, I think, could probably get in the mix also here, but starting from the outside, we'll have to see how aggressive Ty Bates is driving him. Also revisiting the 5 Risky and Daniel Korfman. They're really excited because the Seneca County Fair is coming up next week in Tiffin, and that's on Monday and Tuesday. The Ohio Fair Racing Conference will have some stakes races there. And again, the races were originally scheduled for Sunday and Monday. They moved the Sunday program to Tuesday. There's no changes with the Monday program at Tiffin. So I went over that schedule a little bit earlier today. But again, you can learn more by going to www.ohha.com, and you can find our fair broadcasting schedule on there. And then also pay attention to the Ohio Harness Horses Association Facebook page, where we'll be posting out our schedule and links to the live action that you can follow as well.
Risky, Cobra Kai Johnny with Red Vintage on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now.
Race number 9. This is the final division of the 2-year-old Colt Pacers with the Ohio Fair Racing Conference, going for that purse of $3,979. 7 are at the gate. Bill Peters will have the call.
Here they come. They're off and pacing. That's Overnight Cruiser going out after the air to lead, along with Confederate Cruiser in the middle of the racetrack third. That's Greater Than Aces. Moving up on the outside fourth is Risky. At the rail fifth is Our Holy Terror. Racing in there sixth is Cobra Kai Johnny, and the last horse is Red Vintage. Heading down the backside over toward that quarter-mile mark, Ryan Deaton has Greater Than Aces on the outside with the lead. At the rail second is Overnight Cruiser, driven by Greg Bateson. Pacing in their third is Confederate Cruiser, driven by Luke Ebersol.
29 and 2.
First quarter paced in 29 and 2/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, horses are in straight alignment. That is Greater Than Aces by a length and a half. Overnight Cruiser racing in their second. Confederate Cruiser is third. Racing fourth is Our Holy Terror. Fifth, it is Risky. Sixth is Cobra Kai Johnny, and the last horse, Red Vintage. Coming to the half-mile mark, that's Ryan Deaton and Greater Than Aces bringing the horses down to the half. Second along the rail is Overnight Cruiser, and on the outside third is Confederate Cruiser.
101 and 2.
First half paced in 101 and 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. Confederate Cruiser sticks his nose out in front on the outside. Dropping back second along the rail is Greater Than Aces. Moving up on the outside third now is Our Holy Terror. Along the rail fourth is Overnight Cruiser. Fifth on the outside is Cobra Kai Johnny. Risky sixth along the rail, and Red Vintage trails. Going to that 3/4 mile mark, that's Confederate Cruiser with the lead, with Our Holy Terror on the outside second. 3 quarters in 131 and 1/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Confederate Cruiser with the lead. On the outside second, Our Holy Terror. Along the rail third, Greater Than Aces. As they race through the lane, that's Confederate Cruiser, Greater Than Aces, and Our Holy Terror. But past the stands, it's gonna be Confederate Cruiser, and here the outcome. Our Holy Terror up for place, Greater Than Aces for show. A mile in 2 minutes flat.
A really nice mile there for Confederate Cruiser, who came with a rush at the half and was able to clear to the top just past 5/8. Never looked back after that. Time of the mile, 2 minutes. Came the back half in 58 and 3. A really solid back half there for Confederate Cruiser. And congrats to the winning trainer and driver, Jason McGinnis and Luke Eversole. Looks like we have a final quarter also there of 28 and 4. So really solid there. Confederate Cruiser having to come first up. Again, it was greater than aces on the front at the halfway point. And then Confederate Cruiser and Luke Eversole came with a charge and cleared to the top. Second was the 2, Our Holy Terror with Don Harmon. And then third was the 4, Greater Than Aces, trained by Dean Santantonio and the driver, Ryan Deaton. So Confederate Cruiser, the winner. And again, and here we go to the winner's circle with Bill Peters.
Coming in all the way from Guelph, Ontario, comes number 1, Confederate Cruiser, owned by the stable Confederate Group, trained by Jason McGinnis, and driven to victory this evening by Luke Eversole. This is the Bay Tractor Company and Dr. Mike Stone Trophy Race. Let's have a big hand here for Jason McGinnis, Luke Eversole, and Confederate Cruiser. And the Bay Tractor Company and Dr. Mike Stone, the sponsors of this race. Here are the official placings for race 9 from the top. Number 1, Confederate Cruiser was a winner. Number 2, Our Holy Terror was second. Number 3, Overnight Cruiser was 5th. Number 4, Greater Than Aces was 3rd. Number 5, Oh Risky was 6th. Number 6, Cobra Kai Johnny was 4th. And number 7, Red Vintage was 7th. Time of the first quarter was 29 and 2/5. The half was in 101 and 2/5. The 3 quarters in 131 and 1/5 with a mile in 2 minutes. From the top it should read 1, 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, 7 on the bottom, the mile in 2 minutes.
The 1, Confederate Cruiser, your winner. Congrats again to Jason McGinnis, Luke Eversole, and the Stable.ca, proud sponsors of our fair racing coverage here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association YouTube page. So thank you guys very much for that. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back with race number 10 from the Ottawa County Fair.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Perfect timing for the Stable.ca's commercial to come up after one of their horses wins. So that's pretty cool right there. Confederate Cruiser again taking race number 9 here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, again, just off the banks of the Portage River. As you can probably see in some of our camera shots throughout the day, just how close we truly are down in the final set of turns to the river. It's now time for race number 10 here. This is a race for 2- and 3-year-old pacers. Also eligible are non-winners of $2,500 lifetime. Also eligible maidens. And they're going to go for a purse of $800 in this overnight. And it's going to have 5 horses going to the gate. And we'll go through the field right now. The one is Payera for trainer Ray Farmer and driver Greg Bateson. The 2 is Mickey Shadow for trainer
Attention,
Justin
the barns are now ready for your
Belanger.
horses for race 10.
The 3 is Fred's Princess, trained by Becky Zubkoff and driven by Luke Ebersol. The 4 is Espresso, trained by Jim Mullenix. Cam McCown will do the driving, and rounding out the field is 5, Chuck Stamos, and that is trained by Taylor Hanna. Pierce Henry will be driving today. Taking a closer look at the field, the 1 Payera racing in Canada here, and this is actually her first start, her first start in the United States of her career, actually. Her previous 2 lifetime starts were at Flamborough Downs in Canada last season in November, it looks like, racing with non-winners to be claimed, late closers up there, it shows. For Ray Farmer, this is a 3-year-old Better's Delight filly. The 2 is Mickey's Shadow, trained by Justin Belanger, who will also do the driving here. This is a 3-year-old gelding by Always Be Mickey out of the Ponderosa mare Red Shadow. And also talking with Justin about Mickey's Shadow, he said he always trains super, but he just gets way too excited behind the gate. So they're really trying to work hard on getting him settled in behind the gate. We'll see how he acts here today. Looking back at his family, his dam Red Shadow by the Ponderosa is a full sister to Shadow Play. So definitely has the pedigree here. Again, he was part of the first crop of Always Be Mickeys that were sold that started racing last year. He was bred by Emerald Highlands Farm. And again, his dam Red Shadow, a full sister to Shadow Play, winner of the Little Brown Jug, and also the sire of this year's Meadowland Pace winner, Lawless Shadow. So again, looks like the pedigree is there for Mickey Shadow. He just needs to settle in behind the gate here a little bit, and I think he'd be able to show some of that talent he truly has. The 3 is Fred's Princess, Becky Zubkoff doing the training here. Luke Ebersol, the winner of our last race, is the driver. And Fred's Princess is actually in this race to be claimed for $9,000. And she is a 3-year-old filly by Fred and Ginger out of the Life Sign mare Nightlife. And so far in her career, she's only raced this year as a 3-year-old, made 5 starts, has not hit the board yet, but has been running against non-winners of 1 to be claimed for $6,000 at Hoosier Park. The 4 is Espresso, trained by Jim Mullenix. Cameron McCown doing the driving. This is going to be her first start of the year. She has 3 previous lifetime starts last year, all 3 at Hoosier Park, including a winning effort on September 16th of last year in the 2-year-old fillies that are non-winners of 1 pari-mutuel race. Won by half a length with Brandon Big Ticket Bates behind the with the reins, 156-3 that time of the mile, 27-4 closed it out, and again, her only lifetime win, so that is her lifetime mark. Going to be making her first start of the 2021 campaign here today at the Ottawa County Fair. And the 5 is Chuck Stamos, trained by Taylor Hanna. Pierce Henry doing the driving. Taylor Hanna also owns this son of Racing Hill, a Racing Hill gelding out of the Jeremy's Jet mare Apple Annie. Has 5 lifetime starts coming into today, made 4 of them last season on the Ohio Fair circuit at Mount Gilead, Richwood, and Upper Sandusky. And in those appearances was 4th, 5th, and 6th respectively. And then so far this year, 2 qualifiers at Northville Downs up in Michigan, and does have a start in an overnight event at the Paulding County Fair on June 15th. So looking through this field, again, a reminder, the 3 Fred's Princess in to be claimed for $9,000 in this race today, as we're ready for the post parade of race number 10.
Our starting postword for race 10. This is a 2-year-old and 3-year-old pace. Also eligible non-winners at $2,500. Also eligible maidens going for a purse of $800. This is the Nancy Lighty and Patty Knipp trophy race. Number 1 is Papaya, owned by John Trigliato of Temperance, Michigan, trained by Ray Farmer, the driver, Greg Bateson. All right, number 2 is Mickey's Shadow, owned by Justin Belanger and Jim Bader of Salina, trained and driven by Justin Belanger. Number 3 is Fred's Princess, owned by Summer Zubkoff of Toledo, trained by Becky Zubkoff, the driver Luke Ebersole. Number 4 is Espresso, owned and trained by Jim Molnix of Wauseon, the driver Cameron McCown. Number 5 is Chuck Stamos, owned and trained by Taylor Hanna of Marshall, Michigan, the driver Pierce Henry. Horses will take 1 long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. Hurry and don't be shut out. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering here in race 10. Attention to the barn, beginning horses ready for race 11.
And there's the 5-horse field for race number 10 here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. And again, we've been looking ahead and previewing some of the fairs that we do have coming up in the next week or so. And this is the next one that I'll actually be broadcasting from. It's the Shelby County Fair in Sydney, Ohio. The Ohio Colt Racing Association will have some stake races there. And the first day of racing is next Tuesday, July 27th, with a post time of 5 p.m. On Tuesday, it's going to be the 2-year-old filly Pacers, the 3-year-old filly Pacers, 2-year-old filly Trotters, and 3-year-old filly Trotters. Also, there will be a free-for-all trot, the Leonard Baker Memorial, on Tuesday as well. So it's going to be filly night on Tuesday at Sydney next week, along with that free-for-all trot. Come back Wednesday, July 28th, for a post time of 5 p.m. again, and it's going to be the Ohio Colt Racing Association Colts taking center stage. The 2-year-old and 3-year-old Colt Pacers, 2- and 3-year-old Colt Trotters, as well as the Joe Strayer Memorial Free-for-All Pace, going for a purse of $1,300 there. So keep an eye out. I'll be there next Tuesday, and I'll be teamed up again with one of my favorite partners here, Tom Pye, the harness guy. So looking ahead to some of the fairs we have previewed tomorrow at Bucyrus, it's going to be Tom Pye and Susan Schroeder teamed up to bring you the action from Bucyrus, the Crawford County Fair. Again, the 2-year-old filly Pacers of the Buckeye Stallion Series will be there in action. Also tomorrow at Washington Courthouse, Roger Houston and Jay Wolf will be bringing you the action, and Ashley Daly will be holding down the fort at the Racing with the Stars tent. Back July 22nd, Thursday at Bucyrus, Frank and Susan will be there on Thursday. Again, that's Frank Froz and Susan Schroeder bringing you the broadcast. And then on Saturday at Mount Vernon, it's Tom Pye. Again, the harness guy teamed up this time with Jay Wolf. Also on Saturday at Washington Courthouse, a noon post time. That's going to be Roger Houston and Susan Schroeder. Ashley Daly back again with the Racing with the Stars tent. So that'd be pretty exciting. Then Marysville on Sunday the 25th. Roger and Susan will be bringing the action there. July 26th, Monday at Marysville. Tom Pye flying solo for that one.
Fred's Princess, Espresso with Chuck Stamos on the outside. There at the post. Starting gate is rolling out.
So we hope you guys will be joining us on some of those fairs we have coming up. Again, stay tuned to the Ohio Horsemen's Association Facebook page on all the details of how you can catch every fair and get free programs for each card as well. So here we go. Race 10 in behind the gate, going for a purse of $800. Bill Peters will have the call.
Here they come. They're off and pacing the first horse away is Espresso. At the rail second is Piara. Moving in there third is Mickey's Shadow. Up on the outside fourth, that's Chuck Stamus. And the last horse is Fred's Princess. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that quarter-mile mark. Cameron McCown has Espresso on top by 3 lengths. Pacing in there second is Piara, driven by Greg Bateson. Pacing third at the rail, that is Chuck Stamus, driven by Pierce Henry. On the outside fourth, but now going off stride is Mickey's Shadow, driven by Justin Belanger. And the last horse, Fred's Princess, driven by Luke Ebersole. First quarter paced in 31 and 1/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stand for the first time, that's Espresso by 3.5 lengths. Piara paces in there second. Racing third is Chuck Stamus. Closing in fourth now is Fred's Princess. And the last horse is Mickey's Shadow. Coming down to the half-mile mark, that's Cameron McCown and Espresso bringing the horses down to the half. Racing second is Piara. Up on the outside third is Fred's Princess. Right there fourth is Chuck Stamus. And the last horse, Mickey's Shadow.
102 and 2.
First half paced in 102 and 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Espresso. The closest horse second now is Fred's Princess. At the rail third is Piara. Fourth is Chuck Stamus. Off stride fifth is Mickey's Shadow. Pace picks up a wee bit going to the 3/4 mile mark. That's still Espresso with the lead by 1.5 lengths. On the outside second, that is Fred's Princess, and at the rail third, Piara.
31 and 4.
3/4 in 1:31 and 4/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Espresso by 2.5 lengths. Piara second and trying to come on, and Fred's Princess trying to hold on for third. As they race toward home, that's Espresso and Piara. Espresso and Piara. Looks like the money for this race is going to go to Wauseon, Ohio with Espresso. Up for second, that's Piara. Up for third, Fred's Princess.
201 and 3.
A mile in 2:01 and 3/5.
And it's Espresso and Cam McCown taking the victory, going gate to wire here for trainer Jim Mullenix of Wauseon, Ohio, in a time of 2:01 and 3. Rounding out the rest of the field unofficially was the 1 Piera in second. The 3 Fred's Princess was third. Chuck Stamus was fourth. And then the 2 horse Mickey's Shadow was fifth. Again, Cam McCown picking up the win. He did have, I believe, a double yesterday. Trying to rack up some driver stats again for you guys today. So I'll have some of those prepared for you as we get to the end of the card also.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle, where one of the winners go. Coming in from Wauseon, Ohio, comes number 4, Espresso. Owned and trained by Jim Mullenix and driven to victory this evening by Cameron McCown. Let's really hear it here for Jim and Ellen Molnix, Cameron McCown, and Espresso, and the Nancy Lady and Patty Nip, the sponsors of this race. Here are the official placings for race 10 from the top. Number 1, Payara was second. Number 2, Mickey's Shadow was fifth. Number 3, Fred's Princess was third. Number 4, Espresso was the winner. At number 5, Chuck Stamos was fourth. Time of the first quarter was 31 1/5. The half was in 1:02 2/5. The 3 quarters in 1:31 4/5. With a mile in 2:01 3/5. From the top, it should read 2, 5, 3, 1, 4 on the bottom. A mile in 2:01 3/5.
Number 4, Little Jedi, takes it over to Lauren Harmon. Lauren Harmon driving number 4, Little Jedi. And hit numbers 1 and 4 are uncoupled for wagering purposes. And also, numbers 1 and 4 are full sisters.
So one last time here, the rundown in race number 10. Your winner was the 4, Espresso with Cam McCown. Second was the 1, Payera with Greg Bateson. Third was the 3, Fred's Princess and Luke Ebersol. Fourth was the 5, Chuck Stamos and Pierce Henry. And rounding out the field, fifth was the 2, Mickey Shadow with Justin Belanger. So congratulations to trainer Jim Mullenix. And he also owns from Wauseon, Ohio, Espresso picking up the win in 2:01 3 and race number 10. And 2 remain here on the final day of racing from the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. Stay tuned for race number 11.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Visit us September 17th at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds and get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, and Long Tom. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
And thank you again to Midland Acres for their support of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Fair broadcast so far this summer. It's been a lot of fun today. It's Austin Scott on the mic, Tim Edmonds of Trot and Pace Marketing on the camera here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. Bill Peters doing a great job as always announcing each and every race as we have 10 in the books here so far and 2 more remaining on the final day of racing here at the Ottawa County Fair. So we'll be taking a look at things again. Race number 11 is coming up here soon. And just rolling through. And again, stay tuned right at the end of our broadcast and we'll go through some driver and trainer stats on the day for you so you can get the full recap here from Oak Harbor. And here we'll get flipped over and take a look at the lineup and the horses that will be making up race number 11 here at Oak Harbor. This is going to be the 4-year-olds and up open trot with the signature series, the Gordon Whitty Trot. So going for a purse of $2,550, and we have 5 horses that'll be going postward for it.
Maybe 50 feet or so apart for the post parade in this race. Mr. Merriman, you'll lead the post parade.
And they're getting them lined up for the post parade. And I will take you down through the field in depth here after Bill Peters does the honors.
Our separating post word for race 11. This is the Gordon Whitty Trot. This is for 4-year-olds and up, part of the Signature Series, going for a purse of $2,550. This is the Joe and Fran Darmafell Trophy Race. Number 1 is Wonderful Day. She's a brown mare, 6 years old, by Rompaway Wally out of Zippity Doo Dah by Approved Action, owned by Kevin and Carol Mayer of Montrose, Michigan, and Kathleen Mayer of Owasso, Michigan, trained by Carol Mayer, driven this evening by Jason Merriman, has lifetime earnings over $9,800, a lifetime mark 202 3/5. Number 2 is Stormin' at Dawn. He's a bay gelding, 6 years old, by Stormin' Norman out of Dawn's a Breakin' by Mutineer, owned by Eugene Schraub of Portland, Michigan, trained by Marvin Kraft, driven this evening by Don Harmon, lifetime earnings over $137,000, a lifetime mark 156 4/5. Number 3 is Paragon Billy D. He's a brown gelding, 5 years old, by Victory Sam out of Misty's Legacy by Winky's Pine, owned, trained and driven by Phil Peden of Addison, Michigan, lifetime earnings over $8,500, a lifetime mark 204 3/5. Number 4 is Little Jedi. She's a bay mare, 4 years old, by Rompaway Wally out of Zippity Doo Dah by Approved Action, owned by Carol and Kevin Mayer of Montrose, Michigan, trained by Carol Mayer, driven this evening by Lauren Harmon, lifetime earnings over $28,000, a lifetime mark 203 1/5. And number 5 is Pure Peter. He's a bay gelding, 4 years old, by Uncle Peter out of Ajama, by Jailhouse Jesse, owned by E.J. Trot, LLC of Findlay, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr., lifetime earnings over $34,000, and a lifetime mark of 156 3/5. Those are your horses for the 2021 Gordon Whitty Trot. And in this race, there will be a plaque given to the owner of the winning horse. That's courtesy of the fair board here. And then Joe and Fran Darmafell will give a plaque to the winning driver and also $100 to the winning driver here in race 11.
Great job by Bill Peters there on the post parade, going in depth with all 5 of our starters as far as their pedigree, ownership, and some lifetime stats as well.
On July 18th at Hastings, Michigan, at post position 5, and he finished 4th. The race went in 2:04. There were no charted lines. He finished 4th in a race going in 2:04. There was no betting. Trainer and driver, Bill Pete.
So taking a look at this field, the one Wonderful Day by Carol Mayer is going to be doing the training. Jason Merriman doing the driving here. And this horse is actually a full sister to the 4 in this race, Little Jedi. So they are both Rompaway Wally mares. Wonderful Day is 6 years old, and the 4 Little Jedi is 4 years old. And they're both out of the Approved Action mare named Zippity Doo Dah, bred by Carol and Kevin Mayer of Michigan. So pretty cool to see full sisters competing in this race today. Wonderful Day, the one horse coming off of a victory in a non-winners of 300 last 3 starts in 206 and 4. The 2 is Stormin' at Dawn, and it's Marvin Kraft doing the training, Don Harmon doing the driving, and another cool connection here. Don Harmon driving that 2, Stormin' at Dawn, and his daughter Lauren Harmon is driving the 4, Little Jedi. So some pretty cool storylines here in the Gordon Whitty Trot here at the Ottawa County Fair. Taking a further look at Stormin' at Dawn, again, as Bill Peters mentioned in the post parade, a Stormin' Norman 6-year-old gelding, has over 134 career starts with over $137,000 made, is coming off of a 3rd place finish in the free-for-all trot at Charlotte in Michigan. The 3 is Paragon Billy D for Phil Peden, who trains and drives this 5-year-old gelding by Victory Sam, 36 lifetime starts, $8,500 made, and Bill Peters announced his most recent line at Hastings in Michigan, and also has a 2nd place finish at Charlotte, Michigan on July the 7th. 4 is Little Jedi, as I mentioned, full sister to the 1. Wonderful Day in this race. Carol Mayer, the trainer. Lauren Harmon going to be doing the driving. And the 5 rounding out the field is Pure Peter for Ed Greeno Jr. 42 lifetime starts, 3 wins, $34,000 made, and a lifetime mark of 156 and 3. Excuse me. And now they're all lining up behind the starting gate for race number 11, the Signature Series Gordon, winners of $2,550. And Bill Peters will have the call.
Here they come. They're off and trotting. That's Paragon Billy D going out after the early lead along with Wonderful Day. Moving up on the outside third is Pure Peter. At the rail fourth is Stormin' at Dawn, and the last horse off stride is Little Jedi. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Phil Peden has Paragon Billy D on top by a length and a half. Moving up on the outside second now is Pure Peter, driven by Ed Greeno Jr. Trotting third, it is Stormin' at Dawn, driven by Don Harmon. At the rail fourth is Wonderful Day, driven by Jason Merriman. And farther back fifth, Little Jedi, driven by Lauren Harmon. First quarter trotted in 30 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, now Stormin' at Dawn sticks his nose out in front on the outside. Dropping back second along the rail is Pure Peter. Paragon Billy D trots in there third. Wonderful Day is fourth, and farther back fifth is Little Jedi. As they race down toward the half-mile mark, now Pure Peter regains the lead. Dropping in the two-hole now is Stormin' at Dawn. Paragon Billy D trots right there third, followed by Wonderful Day fourth. First half trotted in 1 minute and 3/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that mark. The one to catch is Pure Peter. The closest horse second is Stormin' at Dawn with Paragon Billy D right there third and Wonderful Day fourth. And farther back fifth is Little Jedi. Front four pretty well bunched as they head down the backside toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Pure Peter by a length and a half over Stormin' at Dawn. Paragon Billy D still trots in there third with Wonderful Day fourth. Past that 3/4 mile mark, Pure Peter still by a length and a half.
32 and 2.
3/4 in 132 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. Here comes Stormin' at Dawn out of that 2-hole to pour on the pressure on Pure Peter's off stride went Wonderful Day. As they turn for home, that's Pure Peter at the rail. Stormin' at Dawn on the outside. They're only heads apart as they race through the lane. Pure Peter at the rail. Stormin' at Dawn on the outside. Stormin' at Dawn and Pure Peter. It's got to be Stormin' at Dawn. And here they all come. Pure Peter up for place. Paragon Billy D for show. 1 mile in 2:03 and 1/5.
And it's Stormin' at Dawn. Don Harmon picking up the victory there for trainer Marvin Kraft. Pretty impressive effort, and that's going to give Don Harmon a triple on the card, and that's going to give Marvin Kraft his second winner here on day number 2 at Oak Harbor. It was Pure Peter trying to take him all the way. Ed Greeno Jr. able to stay out front, but it was Stormin' at Dawn able to make a move down the back and never looked back after that. Don Harmon again picking up the victory in 2:03 and 1. Holding on for second by probably about 3/4 of a length was the 5 Pure Peter and Ed Greeno Jr. A good effort given there. And then also third was Paragon Billy D for Phil Peden, rounding out that trifecta. Looks like here the 2 Stormin' at Dawn went off as the even money favorite from the betting public at the Ottawa County Fair. And Joe and Fran Darmafow are going to be heading and giving the winning driver a plaque and a $100 bonus. And here as well as the winner of the Signature Series, Gordon Whitty Trot. And here comes Stormin' at Dawn and Don Harmon making their way around the final turn and back onto the front stretch here as they head into the winner's circle. We'll let Bill Peters do the honors for the winner of the Signature Series Trot.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Portland, Michigan, comes number 2, Stormin' at Dawn. Owned by Eugene Schraubin, trained by Marvin Kraft, and driven to victory this evening by Don Harmon. Now there will be a plaque presented to the owner of Stormin' at Dawn, courtesy of the Ottawa County Fair Board. And then Don Harmon is going to receive a plaque and $100 courtesy of Joe and Fran Darmafel. And Joe and Fran are in the winner's circle for the presentation. There'll also be a blanket here courtesy of Joe and Fran Darmafel. Let's really hear it here for Marvin Kraft, Don Harmon, and Stormin' at Dawn, and to Joe and Fran Darmafel for their presentation and sponsorships of this race. Here are the official placings for race 11 from the top. Number 1, Wonderful Day was 4th. Number 2, Stormin' at Dawn was the winner. Number 3, Paragon Billy D was 3rd. Number 4, Little Jedi was 5th. Number 5, Pure Peter was 2nd. Time of the first quarter was 30 3/5. The half was in 1 minute and 3/5. The 3/4 in 1:32 2/5. With a mile in 2:03 1/5. From the top it should read 4:13.52 on the bottom, the mile in 2:03 1/5. In the upcoming race 12, there'll be Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering. In race 12, number 4, Professional, was scratch 6. Number 5, Imagine It. The driver is Greg Mason. Greg Mason driving number 5. Imagine It.
And again, that win giving Don Harmon a hat trick on today's card as far as driving wins go. And that wraps up race 11. Again, cool to see Joe and Fran Darmafel, huge harness racing fans and supporters here. Their second day in a row here, giving a winning driver a plaque and a $100 cash bonus. So that's pretty cool. And again, we are down to just one race. It's the nightcap here from the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. Stay tuned after this commercial as we bring you the 12th and final race.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1976, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Bow River Jewelry has been the premier designers of sulky jewelry for more than 30 years. We incorporate today's fashion designs to create a unique piece of jewelry. Visit bowriverjewelry.com today.
Thank you again to our loyal supporters at Big D Tack and Vet Supply and also Bow River Jewelry. And they are a big help, along with all of our other fine sponsors, in helping us bring you all of the fair racing broadcasts this summer across the Buckeye State. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we have one more race to go here at the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, and it is the final division of the 3-year-old Colt Pacers, going for a purse of $3,845. And folks, on paper, this appears to be a race that could top yesterday's fastest mile of 1:56 and could possibly put the track record in danger. So make sure you stay tuned for this one, because we have an outstanding group of 3-year-old Colt Pacers in this race. It's going to be a field originally of 7, going to be scratched down to 6, with the 4 professionals scratching sick here for trainer Mike Sweeney. So let's do the driving. The 2 is Doo-Rah Boy for trainer Tyler Bates. Luke Eversole will be in the bike. The 3, Caviar Sergeant, trainer Brian Brown. Cam McCown getting the call here. The 4, Professional, scratched. The 5, Imagine It, trained by Kent Wilcox. Greg Bateson is the driver. The 6, What You Talking About, Phil Belanger does the training. Justin Belanger, the driver. And rounding out the field, the 7, Tugging on My Heart, Thad Doty doing the training. Pierce Henry is in the sulky. And as I said, this is an extremely tough group of 3-year-old colt pacers here. And again, if we have a chance at a track record mile, it's going to come with this group right here.
Let's get them together to line up to break.
And we'll go more in depth with each individual horse here once we get the post parade completed, as Bill Peters calls for him to get bunched up in the far turn. And we have some final track prep going on as we head into our nightcap. And here's the post parade for race number 12.
Our printing post word for race 12. This is our getaway race here for the 2021 Ottawa County Fair. This is the third division of the 3-year-old colt pace, going for a purse of $3,845. This is the Peterson Farms and Ron Baker Trophy Race. Number 1 is Racing on Air, owned by Marge Deshetsky of North Branch, Michigan, trained by Kent Hess, the driver, Skip them all. Number 2 is Do-Raw Boy, owned by Ed Harwood of Monroe, Michigan, trained by Ty Bates, the driver, Luke Ebersole. Number 3 is Caviar Sergeant, owned by the Caviar Farms of Vienna, Virginia, trained by Brian Brown, the driver, Cameron McCown. Number 4, Professional, has been drawn. Number 5 is Imagine It, owned by Rick Kopp of Hillsdale, Michigan, trained by Kent Wilcox, the driver, Greg Bateson. Number 5 is What You Talking About, owned by Phil Belanger of Saline, Ohio, and Jeff Kesters of Coldwater, Ohio, trained by Phil Belanger, the driver, Justin Belanger. Number 7 is Tugging on My Heart, owned by the Deer Lake Stables LLC of Osseo, Michigan, trained by Thad Doty, the driver, Pierce Henry. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows, closing in 4 minutes. This is your final chance to wager here at the 2021 Ottawa County Fair. Hurry and don't be shut out. There's Win, Place, Show, Exacta, Quinella, and Trifecta Wagering.
And taking a look down through this field, well, let's take a close look at some of the horses in here. We'll start with the 2 Do-Raw Boy for Ty Bates. He's coming off a Buckeye Stallion Series win at Northfield on July the 4th in a time of 152-4. He also has a win at Northfield the week before that against non-winners of 4 parimutuel races lifetime, and that was a 4.5 length romp in 152-2 to set his lifetime mark. And right now, taking a look, his last 5 starts, he has 3 wins, a second, and a third. So Do-Raw Boy, extremely sharp for Tyler Bates. Ty said he likes the front end, but he can still race out of a hole. It'll be a very tough field here, and his first time on a fair track, so he's curious how he'll handle these turns as well, as he's used to those high banks at the Northfield Park track. Also looking, the 3 is Caviar Sergeant for Brian Brown. He's coming off a really monster 2-year-old campaign where he made $62,000 in just 10 starts. But Brian said he just can't figure him out this year. So he's dropping him down to the fair level here from some stakes competition, hoping to maybe give him some confidence. The 5 is Imagine It for Kent Wilcox, who's coming off a start in the Buckeye Stallion Series. He was used hard early. He got hung out on a 26-3 opening panel there at Northfield on July 4th with the Stallion Series. Finally cleared just past the quarter, got to the half in 55-1. Again, pretty fast fractions there, led him all the way, and when he turned for home, he was in second and ended up fading down the stretch, unfortunately. But again, had to work hard to get that lead. But this colt also racing very well in his last, looks like 6 starts. He has 3 wins and a second with 2 fifths, so hasn't missed a check in his last 6 starts. He has $19,000 in earnings this year so far in 13 starts for Kent Wilcox. And again, the driver, Greg Bateson. The 6, What You Talking About? This is a 3-year-old well-said gelding. Phil Belanger doing the training and son Justin Belanger doing the driving.
Horses are lining up down
Justin
the backside on the way to the gate. Racing on Air moves in at the rail.
Every time
Then
he's out
comes
on the
Do-Raw
racetrack,
Boy.
he's just a really really nice horse to drive and care for. And he's actually been racing pretty well also. Back-to-back third-place efforts, a third in the Buckeye Stallion Series at Northfield on July the 4th in 153 and 4, and a third at Scioto Downs in a non-winners of one parimutuel race in 154 and 3 for Kane Kaufman. Again, a lot of horses you can make a case for in the nightcap. Race number 12 here at the Ottawa County Fair. 3-year-old Colt Pacers are ready to go. Bill Peters on the call.
Here they come. The year off and pacing, that's Caviar Sergeant going out after the lead along with Do-Raw Boy. Moving up third is Imagine It. At the rail fourth is Racing on Air. On the outside fifth is What You Talking About? And the last horse is Tugging on My Heart. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Cameron McCown has Caviar Sergeant on the outside with the lead. At the rail second, that's Do-Raw Boy, driven by Luke Ebersole. Racing in there third is Imagine It, driven by Greg Bateson. Fourth is Racing on Air, driven by Skip DeMall. Fifth is What You Talking About, driven by Justin Belanger. And the last horse is Tugging on My Heart, driven by Pierce Henry.
27 and 3.
First quarter paced in 27 and 3/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time. That is still Caviar Sergeant with the lead. Sitting in the golden chair second, that's Do-Raw Boy. Imagine It is third. Racing on Air is fourth. What You Talking About is in there fifth. And the last horse, Tugging on My Heart.
57 and 1.
First half paced in 57 and 1/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Caviar Sergeant. Moving up on the outside second now is Imagine It. Along the rail third, that is Do-Raw Boy. On the outside fourth now comes Racing on Air. At the rail fifth is What You Talking About, and Tugging on My Heart now gets into the battle as they go to that 3/4 mile mark. On the outside with the lead is Racing on Air. Moving up on the outside second comes Tugging on My Heart.
127.
3/4 in 127. With the lead, that's Racing on Air. Still racing in there second is Tugging on My Heart. Third along the rail is Caviar Sergeant. On the outside fourth is Imagine It. Along the rail fifth is Do-Raw Boy. As they race toward home, that's Racing on Air and Caviar Sergeant. It's gonna be Racing on Air, and here they all come. Caviar Sergeant up for place, Do-Raw Boy for show.
156 and 4.
A mile in 156 and 4/5.
So I'll be interested to see. We had kind of a stack up there on the back heading to 3/4. I'm curious if the judges will take a look at that one or not. I'm not sure what happened either. They were right behind the judges' tower here in the infield, right when that stack up was starting to occur. It was Caviar Sergeant on the lead, and it was Imagine It challenging on the outside first up. And I'm trying to think of who that. I think it was Do-Raw Boy was running all over the back of Caviar Sergeant there. And again, this the top three horses there all just kind of came to a little bit of a halt. And the one Racing on Air able to sneak, I believe it looked like, to the outside, and he is the unofficial winner right now at 50-1. So that's going to be a massive payoff here, and if it holds, that will definitely be the biggest winner that we've had in the 2 days of racing here at the Ottawa County Fair. So we'll just, and they're going to take a look at things here. So maybe a chance the judges might come over here and look at our cameras and try to catch a replay possibly if we have the ability to do that. But again, just I couldn't really tell exactly what was going on. Again, Caviar Sergeant was leading the field. I think it was Do-Raw Boy was running all over the back of him, but Caviar Sergeant, I couldn't.
Moving down the track into the winner's circle, we're in the winner's circle, coming in from North Branch, Michigan, comes number 1, Racing on Air, owned by Marjorie Deshetsky, trained by Kent Hess, and driven to victory this evening by Skip DeMall. Now this is the Peterson Farms and Ron Baker Trophy Race, and let's have a big hand for Rich Peterson and Ron Baker and the others on the track crew. They're the track crew here at the Ottawa County Fair. Rich Peterson and Ron Baker along with some others. Let's have a big hand here for Skip DeMall and Racing on Air. And to Peterson Farms and Ron Baker, the sponsors of this race. But there is a judge's inquiry in this race. I don't believe that Winning Horse was involved in the inquiry.
So it's going to be a minute while the judges review things here. And again, maybe coming over our way, looking for a replay into the racing action as they headed towards 3/4. So, yeah, they do appear to be walking this way right now. In the meantime here, again, not taking anything away, but Racing on Air. This inquiry is kind of clouding his whip. That was really impressive. Skip them all. A good drive there to go around all the chaos on the back. And he is a winner in 156.4. Yesterday, Catch Me Conrad laid down that mile at 156 flat, just 3/5, of a second off of the track record set by Tatler's Jet in 2006. And again, I felt like if any group was going to beat it, it was going to be these guys today. But again, that stack up may have played a little bit into the finishing time of the mile. So we'll wait till after this inquiry is cleared up to give you all of the official placings here. But in the meantime, we'll run down through some driver stats here for you on day number 2 of the Ottawa County Fair here at Oak Harbor. So our leading driver today was Don Harmon, who had 3 victories. Who had 3 driving victories. Following him today with 2 driving victories was John Kineski. Jason Merriman had 1, along with B.J. Roberts, Bob Rowland, Darren Dowler, Luke Ebersol, Cam McCown, and Skip DeMall took our final race. On the training side, we had Marvin Kraft and John Kineski with 2 wins apiece. Russell Early III had 1 victory, along with Chris Beaver, Bill Webb, and Russell, Darren Dowler, Jason McGinnis, Jim Mullenix, and Kent Hess, who also, again, took that nightcap with Racing on Air. So those are your driver stats for today. Again, yesterday, it was B.J. Roberts and Chris Beaver leading the way with 3 wins as a driver-trainer combo. Second was Cam McCown and the Brian Brown partnership yesterday. They were 2 for 2 on driving and training wins. And then a slew of others with 1 driving and training win apiece also. But again, they're showing a replay right now to the judges, so our screen, again, we're just kind of on standby while we show this replay, but we are still going to have those official placings for you as soon as the decision is made here. Is it that final one there? And again, folks, we're still looking over the video from race number 12, the 3-year-old Colt Pace here. And we will have the official rulings for you. We have the judges up here right now looking at our camera, going through some replays. So be patient with us, and we promise we will bring you those official placings. And again, folks, if you're still hanging in there, being patient with us right now, we just have a judge's inquiry into the race, and we're looking at the racing action heading to 3/4. So they're reviewing the video right now. Again, it was the 3-horse Caviar Sergeant that was leading the way at that time. And looking at the video, there may have been some interference or wheels getting locked up there as they headed to 3/4 that stalled the field out a little bit, excuse me. So they're still looking into the action. We will have the official placings when the judges have made their ruling. But one thing we do want to share with you guys, because there are times our connection when we're at the fairs is a little spotty and our races might come out a little blurry. If you want to see some clear replays, you can go to www.trotandpaceracing.com, and all of today's race videos will be uploaded individually. And actually, if you go to trotandpaceracing.com, you click on the racing tab on the home page, you can go to the next page and it'll have a calendar, so you can click every date that we have videos videos from and watch every race from every fair. Or if you want to get really specific with it, you can search your horse directly in the search bar at the top of the page, and it will give you the results of every time that horse is raced at the fairs, and will show video replays along with it. So again, if you want replays of today or any of our fair racing action we've covered, go to I cannot speak today. www.trotandpaceracing.com for all of those replays. And again, click the racing tab, and then from there you can click the calendar for a specific date that your horse raced, or you can type in your favorite horse's name and find all the video replays. But please stand by. Again, we'll have the official placings when they are available after this judge's inquiry is completed. And we're back. Thank you guys for staying on standby. If you are still with us right now. If you are still with us, we are going to have the official placings for race 12 still to be read off here. So we had a long judge's inquiry, and they actually came across the track from their tower in the infield to take a look at the replays on our camera to try to determine what happened there heading towards 3/4. So if you're watching the race, may have seen there was a little bit of a stack up. I think some wheels may have gotten locked up heading down the back there. So just stay tuned. We'll have those official placings for you as soon as possible. I'll run through the stats here one more time before Bill Peters gives us our final results reading. Again, for the drivers, leading the way today was Don Harmon with a triple. John Koneski had 2 driving wins, both of those coming on horses he trains, also giving him a training double along with that driving double. We had 1 win apiece for Jason Merriman, B.J. Roberts, Bob Rowland, Darren Dowler, Luke Ebersol, Cam McCown, and Skip DeMall. And for the trainers, we had 2 wins for Marvin Kraft and John Koneski, 1 win for Russell Early, Chris Beaver, Bill Webb, and Russell, Darren Dowler, Jason McGinnis, Jim Molinix, and Kent Hess. And they do have results up on the tote board, and it was a $105
Here are the official placings for race 12 from the top.
And
The one Racing on Air was a winner. Number 2, Do-Raw Boy was 3rd. Number 3, Caviar Sergeant was 2nd. Number 4, Professional had been drawn. Number 5, Imagine It was 4th. Number 6, What You Talking About was 5th. Number 7, Tugging on My Heart was 6th. Time of the first quarter was 27 3/5. The half was in 57 1/5. The 3/4 in 127, while a mile in 156 4/5. From the top it should read 1, 3, 2, scratch 4, 5, 6, a mile in 156 4/5. That concludes our racing here for the 2021 Ottawa County Fair. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out to enjoy the races this year, and hope you all be back next year for the 2022 Ottawa County Fair and their harness racing program. Horsemen, thanks for racing here this year. Be sure to return your saddle pads and head numbers. They need to load them to take to Tiffin. So be sure to return your saddle pads and head numbers so they can get them loaded to take to Tiffin. Thanks for racing here. Hope you all be back next year to race at the 2022.
And that's a wrap here from the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor. Just had the rundown after the long judge's inquiry in race number 12. So over the course of 2 days here in Oak Harbor, we had 22 races contested and had an awful lot of fun covering for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it at home. Again, if you want to see replays of today's races or any of the fairs we're covering this summer, go to www.trotandpaceracing.com. You can click the racing tab and it'll take you to a calendar of full replays, or also you can search by horse in the search tab at the top of the page. So one final time from the Ottawa County Fair in Oak Harbor, Ohio, I'm Austin Scott. Shout out to Tim Edmonds on the camera from Trot and Pace Marketing, and we appreciate all of you for tuning in here on the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association Network.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is brought to you by thestable.ca, the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, Midland Acres, Cool Winds Farm, and Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.